What is up, YouTube? THATSA here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a set review of the brand newest Pokemon TCG expansion. We're going to be looking at Team Up, we're going to be looking at every single card in the set, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the cards and like potential cards that could be comboed with this. I know a lot of people did this like set review a couple weeks ago, but the set officially comes out today, and you know, I just made the channel a couple days ago, so you know, better late than never. Hopefully you're looking forward to a ton of these cards, and hopefully I can give you guys some insight into like potential cards to combo these with, especially for like newer players. I know a lot of people, they're gonna be watching my channel. This might be the very first time that they've played the Pokemon TCG in like 10, 15, 20 years. So what I'm gonna be trying to do is give like the best explanations of the cards I can, and then other potential cards that can combo with them to potentially use each and every one of these cards to their fullest potential. So again, I want to say so far, thank you guys for watching so much. Thank you guys for making this channel the best it can possibly be. And if you want to make the channel the best it can possibly be, other than just watching, feel free to subscribe, feel free to like, and feel free to leave those comments in the chat below. Let me know what some of your favorite cards you're looking for from the set are. Are you going to a pre-release? What deck are you going to build first? Let me know what cards you're looking at to use from Team Up in the comments below. And also remember, the first 10 people to leave 10 comments are going to get 10, they're going to get a code from Team Up to be used in Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. I'm going to DM the first 10 people to leave a comment a code from the newest set. So guys, leave those comments. But without further ado, let's start this up, get right on into it. We have the very first tag team. So one thing that Team Up brings to the table in this set that hasn't been in previous sets is this brings huge basics. Humongous. This Venusaur Celebi, I know you're looking at the Venusaur and you're thinking, Venusaur, that's an evolved Pokemon, how's that a basic? Nope, it's a basic. You can just play this on the board. They're called tag teams, and unlike regular Pokemon, when you get a KO on a tag team Pokemon, when your opponent does, or when you do, either way, the person who KOs said tag team Pokemon gets to take 3 prizes. Remember, all you gotta do is take 6 to win the game, and you get 3 for knocking out one of these things. But look at it, look how huge it is. It has 270 base health. That's a lot more than Charizard had back in the day. I know that. It's more than double. So, yeah, but, you know, with great power comes responsibility. You don't just want to lose these things all willy-nilly, so you gotta do your best to protect them, and in doing so, these Pokemon, you know, pack a huge punch. We're looking at Venusaur Celebi, and the attack we actually have here costs 1 grass, 2 colorless, so you can use a double colorless energy and a grass energy. That's pretty good. Pollen Hazard, 50 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, confused, and poison. Frank's Red Hot put that shit on everything. Like, this thing, absolutely amazing. Note that it doesn't paralyze, because that'd be absolutely broken, but poison can make them take additional damage in between turns. Confused and burned, that's absolutely ridiculous. This is personally one of the GXs I'm personally looking forward to using a lot. Grass has always been my favorite type in the game, and I really do think this is pretty good. We're gonna look at Solar Beam. Got 2 grass, 2 colorless, 150 static damage, so after you set up a Pollen Hazard, you can go for a huge Solar Beam, deal a massive amount of damage. It's absolutely amazing. And last but not least, you got Evergreen GX, 180 damage. Heal all damage from this Pokemon. This Pokemon has at least 1 extra grass energy attached to it in addition to its attack cost. Shuffle all cards from your discard pile into your deck. So it's like Fiber Jar from Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, it deals more than your Solar Beam, right? If you have at least 5 energy. And you get to completely like restock your deck. So like all your supporters, all your items, all your really cool cards that you only have 1 of and stuff like that, bam, right back in your deck. It's such a cool card, and you may be thinking like, that's great, but how do I get 4 energy on this thing? Well, there's a bunch of cards that can actually really go well with this. We have Venusaur from, I think it's like Celestial Storm or like a few sets ago. Every single one of your grass energy counts as 2. So all you really need is 2 grass energy on this card. It's pretty easy to accelerate some type of energy, and worst case scenario, just double attach. You could actually double attach and just use like healing stuff like that. There's so many good cards. Like there's Leafeon that can heal. There's going to be a new, oh, what is it? Is it a Shaman that can heal? Like there's so many ways to heal grass Pokemon. There's a supporter that can heal grass Pokemon. Like this thing can sit on the board literally forever, put up those Pollen Hazards, put up those hazards, and just sit back, relax, and deal a massive amount of damage with moves like Solar Beam. So really cool Pokemon. I don't think it's going to be as competitive as the other tag teams, but I really do plan on using it, and like I said, this is going to be one of my favorites. So after that, we're going to be looking at some of the other Pokemon here. We got a Weedle here. We have a very cute Weedle. It's Tangle Drag. Choose one of your opponent's defense Pokemon and switch it with his or active Pokemon. Pretty decent. You know, being able to gust to win things is always pretty good. And Bug Bite for 10 damage. Doesn't need berries in this game, but you know what? Weedle's okay. Weedle's okay in my book. There are 2 Weedles though, and I'd personally rather use this Weedle. It has an attack, first of all, costs a colorless instead of a, it costs a colorless instead of a grass energy, and it does 20, which is more damage, but it does 10 damage to itself. But the reason to use this Weedle, in my opinion, over the other one, is because this Weedle can actually, it has 50 HP, whereas the other Weedle has 40, so you have that 10 HP more. It's going to let you avoid things that deal, like, static 20 damage to benches, like, you know, the Tapu Koko promo and stuff like that. So, pretty good stuff. I think this Weedle's just a little bit better, in my opinion. We got Kakuna. Ability Grass Bed. If this Pokemon has any grass range on it, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. That's pretty good. 80 damage, or 80 health, you know, pretty much puts it at a health pool of 110 if it has a grass energy. Not bad. Bug Bite, 20 damage again. Not eating berries in this game, but that's alright. So, we're actually going to be moving on now to, I think, one of the cooler cards in the set. This is going to be a Beedrill, right? So you gotta, this is stage 2, so you gotta evolve it onto a Kakuna, and then, Kakuna evolves into Beedrill. But then, if you go, or you can also cut around it with, like, Rare Candy, and I'm going to be talking about Rare Candy stuff as we get down the list. But Rare Candy decks are really, really good. Beedrill's actually pretty easy to get out if you build a deck around, like, Rare Candies, a lower Ninetales, getting that stuff out. But, yeah, what's its attack? What is this first attack? Destiny Barb. This attack can only be used when this Pokemon has damage counters on it. Both active Pokemon are knocked out. Holy moly. It has 130 base HP. Its last attack, 90 damage. This Pokemon does 10 damage to itself. Hey, it deals damage to itself. It's made me thinking, like, for 1 grass energy, you can knock out any Pokemon? Didn't you just say that there are so many Pokemon, like these new tag teams, that if you knock them out, you get 3 prizes? Well, I did! Yeah, and also if you knock out like a GX or an EX, you also get 2 prizes. So this Pokemon's gonna trade positively for anything. Like, you get 2 Beedrills up, they got 2 tag teams, knock out 1 tag team, bring it through the Beedrill, do the same thing, and you just win the game. That's it. And you may be thinking, well, that's great. How are you gonna get damage on yourself? Like, you gotta attach a DCE or like 2 energies to use the 90 attack. No, you don't. You just gotta use a Rainbow Energy. Rainbow Energy is an energy that counts as every type of energy, right? But when you attach it, it deals 10 damage to yourself. So you got Beedrill, attach a Rainbow Energy, and just use Destiny Barb and, you know, trade 1 for 1, and then that's completely fine. Maybe send out something else to Chump Block, develop your second Beedrill. When you're ready, just Guzma in, and you know, you're ready to go. Pretty cool Pokemon. One thing I don't like about this Pokemon is that it actually has a retreat cost, and I don't feel that Beedrill should have retreat costs, because, like, it just goes against what I think, like, you know, really cool, faster grass Pokemon should be. I don't think, like, Vespunt didn't have retreat cost. Beedrill shouldn't have retreat cost either. That's my only nitpick about the card. Because sometimes, you know, I want to be able to send it out and, like, switch it out after, like, KOs and stuff like that. Just my little 2-bit opinion here. We got a Paris here, 70 base Paris, so note that it can't be got out with Professor Elm. That's kind of bad. But Scratch 10 damage, Slash 20 damage. pretty standard stuff. But let's see if Paris can do anything. Panic Spore, put 2 damage counters on opponent's confused Pokemon between turns. Note this doesn't have to be the active to use that, so like you can just have this in the back. I guess it pairs pretty well with that. Yeah, it goes pretty well with that Venusaur. Confused decks are, confused. I'm trying to think of like other ways to bust this out. Maybe if it expanded, you can use like Hypnotoxic Laser. That'd be really cool. I list like Parasect Ariados with Hypnotoxic Laser and just like massively, you know, dot things up. That'd be pretty cool. And Mysterious Power, 30 damage, flip a coin if heads are confused. Not a terrible Pokemon. I could see this being like a meme road deck, and I definitely plan on messing with it because, like I said, grass is my favorite type. And you guys know I love my Parasect. Check out my main channel YouTube. That's a +1 for the VG content where I use a lot of Parasect. So we're going to Execute here. We got Bullet Seed. Flip 4 coins, attack does 10 damage times number of heads. Definitely appropriately named. I like it. I like when names actually have like the same name as they do in like the video game stuff like that. Really, really cool. Bullet Seed's never been really an Execute exclusive move, but I do like it. 50 HP is not terrible. Again, it's right over that 40 base, which I think is pretty good. But let's see if oh, there's no Executor. Yes, there might be Executor. No, there's Executors in other sets, so maybe this Execute isn't like a step up from some other ones. We got Pinsir here. Note the big 3 retreat cost on that Pinsir. Holy moly. We got Double Color, Grip and Squeeze. The defending opponent can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Pretty good. Actually, 120 base HP on Pinsir is actually really good for a basic. Guillotine Hug. Flip 2 coins. If both their heads your opponent's active Pokemon's knocked out. If that costs a DCE, I'd definitely make a meme team deck for this. But this Pokemon as it stands, I think, isn't too great. 3 retreat cost is huge. The first attack's okay. The second attack is memes, but it costs too much energy. Otherwise, it might be useful. Alright, so we got Shaman here. I think this is actually a pretty cool card, and I don't know how it's going to go down. First of all, it's a Prism Star, and what does that mean? Prism Star means you can only have one of it in your deck, so you can't put like 4 of these in your deck. And I just want to say, by the way, Shaman and like Skyman are some of my favorite cards, so like I'm really happy to see that this card is like actually out, and I really like seeing as many Skymans and Shamans as possible. But yeah, you can only have one, and if it ever hits the discard pile in any way, it goes to the Lasso, which is RNG, or RFG, removed from the game. So, Flower Storm. This attack does 30 damage times the number of basic energy attached to your Pokemon in play. So, like I said, it doesn't say grass energy. You note that you need grass to do it, but it doesn't say grass. So, like, you can use Naganadel to supplement this thing. And also note that this thing works really, really well with Venusaur. You know, the Venusaur that I said from a few sets ago. It makes all your grass energy count as double. And I think that also works for the more Venusaur you have in play. I think it stacks. I could be wrong. But anyway, so, like, let's say you got, you know, 1 grass energy here, because it's technically a 1 energy attacker, because it takes 2 grass energy to attack, but each grass energy tax is double. You got like 2 or 3 grass energy against other things. You're slamming things for like 200 plus off a 1 prize attacker. This card's gonna be amazing in that type of deck. This card's gonna be amazing in decks like Shining Genesect and stuff like that. So I think this card's actually gonna see a decent amount of competitive play, and I definitely plan on using it because, like I said, Shaman is one of my favorite cards. Really good card here. Alright. We're also going to be talking about more really good cards. We got a new Charizard in this set, and it's going to be absolute fire. So we got to look at Charmander first. Scratch, 10 damage. Cost of fire to use Scratch. Awkward. I think it should cost... I don't like that. That shouldn't cost anything. That should cost a colorless. And then there should be like a fire one, but in my opinion. Anyways, 20 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. So that's 50 HP. You can grab it with Elm. It's actually decent. Like, you can do over 100. He's low. It's not bad for a DCE. Just talk about it. Not bad. This Charmander, though, has 70 health. Holy moly. So you can't grab this one with Elm. And you got Fire for 30, and you discard your Fire Energy. Not the best. I actually think that this Charmander is a little bit better just because you can grab it with Elm, but that's just my opinion. But decks that aren't going to be running Elm, this one has 20 more base HP, so who knows? What art's better? What do you guys think? You guys like this art, or do you guys like this art better? I don't know. I think this one's just a little bit better. We got Charmeleon, Fire Fang, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. That's pretty good for 2 fire energy, and I like the art on this card. 90 base HP is not terrible either. Note that he has 2 retreat costs. Not a fan of that. Not a fan. Charmeleon should have 1. It's fast. So this is the real deal, guys. This card, for those who don't know me, I use a lot of rogue decks, right? And so I really like Typhlosion is probably my favorite deck in the game. I feel that this is just a Typhlosion. It's like a mix of like Typhlosion and Blacephalon GX. And the art is amazing. It's a Charizard. If any of you guys know anything about me, I love Charizard. I'm Charizard everything. Like Pokken, I main Charizard. Smash Brothers, I play Charizard. Like Charizard's my jam. I'm one of those guys. Sorry, I'm one of those guys. I've pulled like a hyper rare Charizard GX. Like I'm a Charizard fiend. So what does this guy do? What makes him special? Ability, Addicting Drive. Once during your turn before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. He has base 150 HP, so not too terrible. And if you do, search your deck for up to 2 fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So you get to use your attack for free. He doesn't even like technically have to have anything. And so what does this attack do? It might be pretty good, right? So costs 2 fire energy. It's 30 plus, not a 30 times. Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 more damage for each card you discard in this way. So right off the bat, if you just use your ability, don't do anything else, you do 30 plus 150 for each. So 130 off the bat. If you do, you go for your ability and then you attach one, you're doing 180. And so 180 plus a Choice Band, which deals 30 extra damage against GX and EX Pokemon, hits that numero, like, amazing 210. And that's off just 1 energy, your ability, and a Choice Band for 210. You're not factoring in a Kukui, you're not factoring in any other damage boost, you're not factoring in the fact that you can have energy from previous turns. And you may be thinking that's, like, okay, but it's probably really bulky. Like, this deck probably bricks a lot, and I don't think it actually will, because you're gonna be running like a Alolan Ninetales, and that can really help you, like, supplement this card. But you're probably thinking, like, it's probably not, like, a reason to use this card over something like Blacephalon. And I think this card actually offers a lot of playability in other formats, and the biggest reason why I think this card's valuable, not like valuable, expensive, but like a good card, is that it's a 1 price attacker. Blacephalon, if they KO the Blacephalon, which they're going to like clap you back because all the tag teams are here, you're gonna get 2 prizes, and this guy is gonna be trading like 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 every single time. And one card I really plan on using this deck a lot in Expanded. I plan on using this deck with like Blacksmith and Expanded. You guys know Blacksmith. Take 2 fire energy cards from your discard pile and attach. So you go for your ability, you go for a Blacksmith, and you attach. That's 5 times 5, 250 plus 30, 280 choice band. You got 310. That's the magic number. That's KOing even Wailord GX with this card. I think this card is so good. Like fire decks, oh man, like I said grass was my favorite, but like fire is like my jam. Like I have the best results with fire decks. Like these type of decks are my favorite, and you can expect a ton of content on this channel from Charizard. I'm going to show you guys the craziest ways. I'm probably going to make 4 or 5 different decks using this card and showing it off in both standard and expanded formats. I absolutely love it. It's probably my second favorite card from the set. Second favorite. So we got Vulpix here. I like the art. 60 base. You can grab with Professor Elm. Tail Whip. Flip a coin. If your opponent's active bone can't attack during your opponent's next turn. I love cards like this. I love cards like this. I think more cards should have like basic attacks that can kind of like Wabaku. For those who don't know that term, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh term. Kind of just like make it so that defending Pokemon, once it's active, I don't know if that means it targets this one. I don't know if switching negates it, but it says active Pokemon can't attack. It doesn't say if like switching or anything gets around that, but who knows? Who knows? I really do like cards that just have the 1 energy, like, oh man, my back's to the wall. Maybe I can, win a dice or win a coin flip and give myself 1 more turn to stall. I really like I like having options like that. Like I always just think it's really cool. There's a lot of cards that do like flip a coin if heads, paralyzed for a turn, stuff like that. I really do like it. It's better than like a 1 energy 10 damage. I'd rather have something like this. I think it brings a lot more to the table. So we had Ninetales. What does this actually do? Card looks okay. Hunter base HP is a little low. The attack's not great. Let's see if the abilities are right. Once during your turn before you attack, you may discard 2 fire energies from your hand. Then choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and switch with his or her active Pokemon. So it's like a Lysander. That's pretty good. This reminds me a lot of Prism Star Water Volcanion from like, I don't know what set that was. I don't remember what set that was. It was a few sets ago. But, yeah, pretty good card. It sucks that this card's an evolution card. The thing about the Volcanion was you just played the Volcanion and be like, I'm doing this right now. This card, you gotta develop your back row, but you can do it every turn. So maybe there's something here that I'm not seeing. Again, Fire Energy does have the Fire Energy to discard to be able to do it. And, like I said, what you can do, like, let's talk about this. If you're running this in like that Charizard deck, like I said. So you have your Charizard, you get your Ninetales, the best of both worlds, I know. Like, hopefully you're developed. Who knows? That's crazy board state. Discard 2 Fire Energy, put them in the graveyard. You can Blacksmith those immediately right on your Charizard, so it helps you potentially get your engine going, because sometimes it's hard to get the energy in the discard pile within the first few turns of the game. So this lets you go like right off the bat. If you have a really good turn 1, turn 2, you evolve Ninetales, Rare Candy to Charizard, and go for a really big turn 2. I'm trying to look at this card positively. I think it's going to be cool, and hopefully it's usable. Hopefully it's usable. I definitely think there's potential there, but not something that's like absolutely game-breaking, which is good. That's good. There definitely needs to be cards like that in every set. Ponyta, Live Coal. See, like, this is what I mean. That Vulpix was so much better than this card. Like, 1 fire energy for 10 damage? No, thanks. And it has 70, so you can't grab with Elm? No, thanks. Other attack is 2 fire energy, 10 plus 30 if you flip a coin heads. That's 40. Super effective. 80? Like, not bad, not bad. You gotta flip a coin though. Rapidash. All right, let's see. All right, so 100 base HP, Searing Flame, 20 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. That's really good. There's a bunch of burned like decks that are focused around like burned within the past like 3 or 4 sets. Like there's a Reshiram. I think there might be like a Ho-Oh. Entei's always been around. I think there's a Flareon that does it too. So Burn's starting to get its own deck. There's also an Infernape that does a lot with Burn. So pretty good seeing more stuff with Burn. Its second attack, Agility. I love it, man. Back in the day, there used to be a Rapidash. I wonder if anyone remembers. Like, Agility, 2 Fire Energy, 60 damage, flip a coin if heads, prevent all effective attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. Technically, if you were the luckiest person in the world, right, you could only have Rapidash, no other stuff on the bench, so you can't get Goosewood, and just never get a coin flip wrong. Maybe play this with, like, a little bit of Victini, flip coin, you know what I mean? What is it, the card that's the logo for the channel, the Victory something? Victory, oh, what is it? I can't believe I'm getting this wrong. It's like the card that's on the Victini EX. It's the card that's the logo for the channel in the icon. whatever. Maybe someone will remember the comments, but yeah, that's cool, right? I think that's actually like a meme deck that I'm gonna try because I like that Victini and I like Agility. Like I just got done saying I wish there were more cards that let me like flip a coin to pretty much make it so you can't take damage your opponent's turn because I really liked that mechanic. Being able to risk it for the biscuit is always fun. Not really in a competitive tournament setting, but just like online battles, friendly games. It's always funny to see how lucky you can get. And the Victini, for those who don't remember, it lets you anytime you flip a coin, you can like flip it again if you want. So you get like 2 tries to get that heads, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, Moltres. Ooh, man, Moltres. Let's see what this does. So it looks. Let's see how it looks. 2 retreat cost. Wow, that's a lot of energy. 120, pretty good base HP. Wildfire. Discard all fire energy in this Pokemon. If you do, for each energy discard 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck. So it's a mill card. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel that there should be mill cards in the game, but and this will be used in any mill deck, I'm sure, but not a fan of it so far. And Fire Spin, 180 damage, discard 3 energy, but that's 180 damage. Like I said, Choice Band with this card, something's KO'd, Zoroark, delete. You know, this is like one shot in a Buzzwole with like just any amount of damage addition on top of it. So there's a way to get Fire Energy on this card, which I don't really think there is easily. You can do a lot. No, just basic, so not terrible, but not something I'm gonna go out of my way to run either. Yo, we have Litten, yo, it's lit. So let's see, Litten, I love the art, 60 HP, you can grab with Elms. We got Gouge, 10 plus damage, flip a coin if heads, this attack does 10 more damage. So, 20 damage, 1 energy, not bad if you get heads. And I've been talking a lot about Elms, and for those who don't know what I mean by Elms, there's a card called Professor Elms Lecture. You know, it's a supporter, and search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon, or sorry, doesn't have to be basic, it can be anything. So 3 Pokemon that have 60 HP or less, and put them in your hand. So you can get all these basics, and so it's pretty much just a great way to hit your curve. You've seen me use it in my highlight videos before, so I really like it when you can grab stuff like that with Elms, and so you can, it's just really good to be able to be searched from your deck, and you know, having 60 HP versus having 70 HP is actually better to be 60 in that situation. So let's go, Torracats, Roar. Your opponent switches back to Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon, and I wonder if they pick. That's how Roar's supposed to be random. And let's see, Claw Slash, 60 damage. So I think this is going to go with that Incineroar GX, because like note that these are both fire types, and I think Incineroar is dark, and like they all use like colorless energies. So pretty cool stuff. 90 base HP, not that bad. Again, I'm not a fan of the 2 retreat cost on a lot of these Pokemon, but I mean it kind of makes sense. Can't be amazing, right? I really don't like 2 retreat costs though on like middle evolutions. I hate it when like mid game you're struggling for energy and you get Goosebud and they bring out your 2 retreat cost mid-level card and they just kind of leave you out there. Not really a fan of that. We have Squirtle here. We got a new Squirtle, new Blastoise. Shell Float. If you have a stadium in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. Pretty good. Has 1 retreat cost, but you don't have to pay for that. So you can safely open up Squirtle in most games and you know, eventually play your stadium. I think Brooklet Hill is still legal, so like Brooklet Hill gets more stuff like that. Like that's free. That's so good. Squirtle, really good ability. You know, if it didn't have it, Water Gun deals Water Colors for 30. That's pretty standard. So compared to standard attack, you're not going to be using. Note that it has 50 though, so you know, you're not getting KO'd by like 2 20 base hits from like Decidueye. You're not getting KO'd by like Tapu Koko, Flying Flip, and stuff like that in 2 turns. So pretty good stuff. I like this card. I like this card a lot. This Squirtle though has 70. Again, 70, not good. You can't get this with Elm. So Tackle 10 damage and Wave Splash 20 damage. So this has a Water Colors for 20. This is Water Colors for 30. And you can search it. I think this Squirtle's a little bit better, just my opinion, my 2 cents. Wartortle got 2 retreat costs on this guy, 90 base HP. You got Tackle 30 damage, Waterfall 70 damage. A lot of energy on the Waterfall, but you know, the Waterfall does a decent chunk. Like, worst case scenario, that's not even bad damage. I'd rather have like an attack like this that has the potential to be usable that can chunk. It sucks when you have like, you know, attacks that do like 20 and then like 30. I'm thinking of like Kirlia from you know, the Kirlia that evolves into Gardevoir and stuff like that. It does like 20 for 1, and then you got like 2 or 3 energy, and it does like 30 or 40, and like this does 70. So it's like, it's actually no slouch if you are that far into the game. Like, it ain't no slouch. You can't sleep on 70 damage. So here's the new Blastoise. I love the art. Has 3 retreat costs, which is appropriate. Power Squall. Once during your turn before you attack, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, choose as many water energy cards as you find there, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle the other cards back in your deck. Really cool card. Reminds me a lot of Typhlosion from Breakthrough. So you're going to look at the top 6 cards, and if you're running a deck that's has a ton of water energy in it, you're going to be able to put up to 6 water energy on any Pokemon you want. You don't really want to attach this. You put this on your back row, and again, you can do this every turn, so it's not like it just happens when it evolves. So like every single turn, you're probably going to be attaching anywhere from 2 to 4 energy on any of your Pokemon. So every single turn you're going to be loading up your board more and more. The earlier you get this out with Rare Candy, the more you're going to be able to steamroll the game. I really like it. Its other attack, Hydro Tackle, 150 damage, and it does 30 damage to itself. So you can load this thing up. Like 150 is not bad. I expect this Pokemon to definitely see play in a few decks. Kingdra comes to mind. I think Gyarados' card's also usable. So we're going to see how this card actually like gets used. I definitely expect this to do something. This is going to be a card you see at like League Cup, League Challenges for sure, because I think it's really cool. Blastoise is always a fan favorite as well, and this art is amazing. So definitely look forward to seeing some Blastoise. We're going to see a Psyduck now. Psyduck. Migraine. 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent can't play any trainers from their hand or next turn. Really cool card. Wow. That's a cool card. No trainers. Yeah. I hope someone makes a deck around this. That'd be really cool to see some sort of lock deck that just you need to get heads every turn. Again, you run the Victini if you want. That'd be pretty cool. Golduck, Amnesia. So Psyduck focused on like locking out your opponent. Looks like Golduck does similar stuff. Amnesia, 20 damage for 1 water. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon, and that Pokemon can't use that. One of your opponent's active Pokemon attacks. That Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. So this is really, really good against cards that only really have one attack. Like, we're going to be looking at Pikachu Zekrom later. It has, like, its main attack and its GX attack. And if they've already used a GX attack, well, they can't use any more attacks if you have Golduck. So I definitely think this card's pretty cool, too. I wouldn't be surprised to see some meme decks around this card, and I plan on using it a little bit. It's really not optimal, but that's a really cool mechanic that you don't see very often anymore. And let's see. Swim. Wow. Good name choice. 90 damage. If any of your opponent's Pokemon in play have their water energy attached to them. Hold on. If any of your opponent's Pokemon in play have water energy attached to them, you may choose to do this attack's damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon instead of their active Pokemon. That is such a cool mechanic. This is a very cool card. So, like, let's say if they have a water energy on their back row, fighting a water mirror, you can be like, well, I'm just going to bypass your active and deal 90 to your back row instead. That's so cool. What a unique card. You know what? I'll use this card. Someone will make a deck for this card, and I'm sure that it'll be me. I think it's pretty cool. We have a new Staryu. What is it? 50 base HP or retreat cost, and Numbing Water. 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads. Your active Pokemon is not paralyzed. Again, very similar to Vulpix, where you potentially have the ability to stall them out for a turn to give you the time to set up you need to succeed. Probably gonna be pretty good in Greninja. I think this is a pretty good Staryu. You don't really see like paralyzed effects as often as I think you should, so pretty good. And again, like with Staryu, like Greninja does a lot of damage. Like I'm mostly thinking of like expanded and stuff like that, but Greninja does a lot of like damage with like over time and like the background and stuff like that. So being able to stall them out, pretty good. I think Staryu's pretty good. Magikarp, 30 HP as always. Enter the Dragon. Flip a coin of heads. Search your discard for a card that evolves from this card and play it on top to evolve it. Oh man. So 1 water energy, 50% chance to go right to Gyarados. Pretty good card. Let's see what Gyarados does. I'm pretty sure I heard a lot of people talking about this Gyarados. First of all, I can see it has a ton of base HP. The art is amazing. 4 retreat costs, that's absolutely huge. So this thing's going to be standing out there forever unless you're Guzmang. So, filter out. Reveal the top 7 cards of your deck. This card does 30 damage, reach water energy revealed, and then shuffle those water energy back to your deck. Discard the remaining cards. Holy moly. That is hilarious. Filter out is a very good name for that. So 30 damage. So the way this is going to work is you're going to use a lot of water energy. This is very similar to Typhlosion, but almost better. And it does 30 damage for each one instead of 50 versus Typhlosion. And then the water energy go back, and you discard everything else. So, like, let's say you hit, like, 4 water energy and, 3 other cards. So you're going to do 4 times 3. You're going to do 120 plus 30. And so it's 150 right there. But then you discard the other cards. And you may be thinking, I don't want to discard my cards. But it's like, well, the next filter out you do is going to do even more damage because your deck is thinned out. So really cool card. And it's only 1 energy. Like, I'm going to use this. This is a really cool card. It goes well with Blastoise, too. Like, because Blastoise is all about that energy. Like, you want your deck to be mostly energy so you can, like, load everything up. Let's see what this other attack does. Hyper Beam. Discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. 100 base energy, like, discard mechanics. I love it. This card's amazing. Definitely expect to see this Pokemon see play. Maybe even, like, at a regional level, because that's, like, really good. I like this card. I like this card a lot. I expect to see it a lot online. Lapras, basic Pokemon confused. Right, opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. That makes sense. Hydro Pump, 10 damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each water energy attack to each of this Pokemon. This is the exact set as the Fossil Lapras, I think. This is exactly the same as Fossil Lapras. I think back in the day, Hydro Pump used to cost a water and a colorless and had the exact same effect. But 30 plus for each water. This is the perfect Pokemon to load up on Blastoise. This Pokemon, I think, like, Kingdra GX, like, this is a basic one-prize attacker, like, really good stuff. I think this is such a cool Pokemon. Its weakness is Metal. Steel. That's unique, considering Lapras isn't even weak to Steel. It's neutral. Lapras is a Water type and an Ice type, so Ice type weak to Steel, but Water type resists, so it's really weird that it's weak to Steel when it actually has weaknesses to things like, you know, Grass and Electric and Fighting, but, you know, whatever. More power to you. It's not good that it has a weakness to Steel, because Steel still sees a decent amount of play, but I think it's going to be a really cool card, and it's also going to decent play, I'm sure. It's a one-prize attacker. Those are usually pretty popular. Articuno. That is an amazing art on Articuno. I hope this card's good. I just hope it's good. Let's go. Blizzard Veil. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever your opponent places a supporter card from their hand, prevent the effects of that card done to your benched water Pokemon. And then 2 water energy, Cold Cyclone, 70 damage, move 2 water energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. Alright, this card sucks. It's niche. There might be some deck that could use this potentially, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. It's hard to load this thing up unless you're using Blastoise, and even if you're not, like, it does 70, which is good, but then you are moving your energy away from the Articuno, and then if it's your active, so you can attack with it and use its ability, then it can't get more water energy. You can't, like, Aqua Patch to your active, you can only Aqua Patch to your bench. So, like, I'm not seeing a way this Pokemon does it. That's unfortunate, because it's really cool looking. Alright, so we're talking about Pikachu Zekrom. This is the card I was talking about when I was talking about the Golduck. This is one of the best, like, premier cards in the set. If you guys pull this, this is going to be one of the better cards. So Pikachu Zekrom, this is the tag team, has a ton of base HP. You can just drop this on the board. 3 Lightning Energy, Full Blitz, 150 damage. Search your deck for up to 3 Lightning Energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. This card's going to be amazing in, like, I think it's called Zora. I think that's how you pronounce that. This card's good with itself. You can just load up a second Pikarom. Electric decks are huge right now. It's good like a Alolan Raichu. This goes on like Rayquaza. So many cool things in this deck. And then it's Tag Bolt GX attack, 200 damage. This Pokemon has at least 3 extra lightning energy attached to it. In addition to this attack's cost, this attack does 170 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. You can only use 1 attack per game. Remember, if you guys knock this thing out, if anyone knocks this thing out, they get 3 prizes. So what you do with your GX attack is you pop someone in the face, maybe like a GX, like a Zoroark or something, maybe you got a Choice Band, get 2 prizes there, and, you know, one-shot something else that's, like, maybe not at full in the back row, and you might even be able to get, like, 4 prizes in the turn. Hell, it's possible if they have 2, tag team Pokemon that aren't at full, maybe you have a little bit of AoE damage. You can go for 6 prizes in 1 turn with this card. That's absolutely ridiculous, and this card is going to see a lot of play. You can definitely expect it at the Colin Full Regionals coming up, and it's a really cool card. Alright, Geodude, self-destruct, 60 big ones, and then 60 to itself. Not a fan. Geodude, not like this. Alright, this Geodude has 7 base HP, but maybe it's better. Oh, it has an attack for no energy. That's what that little symbol means. It's really, really cool. Recharge, search your deck for 2 lightning energy attached from this Pokemon. That card would be busted if it said attached to whatever you want. I like the art on this card better. I've always liked, like, the little clay, like, art and stuff like that. I've loved those things. And then shuffle your deck, and then Smash Bomber, 50 damage, flip a coin. If tails, it fails. I mean, I wish Crash Bomber only cost 2 energy, because you could do recharge into it, but as it stands, this card is garbage, and you can't even get it with Alright, we got Graveler, sorry. Graveler. What do you do, Graveler? Roll out 30 damage, not bad. Again, it doesn't take an energy to do that, so Graveler's actually not terrible so far. And then Electric Slug, 100. Not bad. This card is actually way better than Geodude. Just saying. Let's see if Graveler's better than Golem. Is it worth to evolve in a Golem? First of all, Golem has 180 base HP. That's actually really, really big. Magnet Bomb. Remove any number of energy from your bench Pokemon to this Pokemon. This attack does 20 damage for each card move. So if you use Pikarom and, like, load up your bench, you can just use this attack, cost no energy, and just load up your Golem and do a crap ton of damage like that. And then Super Zap Cannon, 190. Discard 2 electric energy from this Pokemon. I think this Pokemon will see play in meme decks. This card's definitely rogue. You're not going to take this to a tournament at all, but you might see a little bit of this card on TCGO. Having 180 health as a one-prize attacker is really, really big, and it has attacks that cost nothing, just like Graveler does. And that's, like, the thing. Like, this card's going to be appealing to people because you can technically attack for nothing. There's always people that like cards like that. So we'll see it eventually, I'm sure. Voltorb, 50 HP. 1 colorless, 20 damage. Not bad. Not bad. And Electro, let's see what this does. Once your turn, when you play this card from hand to evolve a Pokemon, you may move any number of lightning energy cards attached to your Pokemon for any of their... So when you evolve this, you can move any number of lightning energy cards attached to your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. This is... So, what you do with the Pikarom, you're loading up the random Pokemon on your bench, you drop the Electrode, you put all your energy, or at least 6, onto your active Pikarom, and that way you can use your GX attack correctly. So that's actually really cool. I like that this card was made. I really do like Electrode as well. I like the art on this card, a little Yarn Electrode with the Yarn Voltorbs in the back. I think it's pretty cool. It has 1 retreat cost. It has an attack that costs 2 energy, deals 50. Not bad. Not a bad card. Definitely gonna see play in something, I'm sure. Because also, you know, we're looking at this card now. We don't know what this card's gonna look like in 3 or 4 sets. It's the type of card that like has the potential to do something stupid or something crazy in a few sets. So I'm not gonna be mad if I pull one of these. Oh, I want at least one. I want it. Oh, talking about cards that I want. Holy moly, this Zapdos is gonna break the game. This card is like gonna be meta defining. There's gonna be so many of these decks. 1 energy, 110 base, HP, 2 retreat cost, which is lame, but good for something I'm going to be talking about later. Assault Thunder, 10 plus damage. If this Pokemon became your active Pokemon during this turn, this attack does 70 more damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by weakness. I really like that it says it's not affected by weakness, otherwise this card might be too good, because like it needs more limiters, because this card is really, really good. So it deals 80 damage, right? You may think that's not that much, but it's a 1 prize attacker, and it's a 1 energy attacker. For 80 damage, you may think, well, it has to become active. There's ways to make it work with the new Jirachi we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. So this is like one of the new combo decks. Be on the lookout for this card. And if you get any of these cards relatively early, I'd hold on to them because they're going to be pretty expensive, you know, eventually as like the game develops. This is going to be a really, really, really good card. Potentially one of the best cards in the set. So be on the lookout for it. It's amazing. Reap. All right, 60. Shock Bolt, 30 damage. Just got all lightning energy. Crazy. That's bad attack. Should just say 1. Should just say 1 because it costs 1. That's stupid. Alright, Flaffy. Buzz Punch, 30 damage. Alright, you know, it's already infinitely better than the Mareep. Because it doesn't have to discard all its energy. Shock Bolt, discard all energy. Why you gotta discard all your energy? Did you double? Why just discard 2? It's so awkward. Well, Ampharos, don't lay down. We got Ampharos GX. I don't know what this does. 240 base HP on a Stage 3 GX. I wish it was 250. I feel that, like, GXs that are stage 3 that have 240 are so underwhelming compared to ones that have 250. Like 250, you're like, man, that's thick. But like the 240 ones, it's like anything can hit 240 because a lot of decks already hit 210 and they just need a choice band to get this, but they're still out of range for the 250. So let's see what you do. Power Recharge, put all Electro Power cards from discard pile into your hand. So what Electro Power does is it is a trainer, right, that says your electric Pokemon's attacks deal 30 more. And so it looks like this card just gets to recycle them, put them all in your hand. So you drop this Ampharos, drop 4, you're going to be doing 150 with this, and you get them all back. So you can deal 150 every single turn if you have all of your Electric Power cards. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. 150. I'm going to use it. This is fun. 2 Lightning Energies, Impact Bolt, discard all Lightning Energy from this Pokemon, of course. So if I have 2 of those, if I have 2 Lightning Energy, right? 150 plus 150, that's 300. I like this card now. I like this card. What does your GX deck do? Search for up to 7 Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's underwhelming, to say the least. There's at least it costs 1 electric. So like maybe if you get this out on like turn 2, maybe you got like a, you know, Mareep, your rare candy, drop this, you can search for like 2 more Mareeps, 2 more Ampharoses, maybe like a Vulpix and a Ninetales. So you go like drop your Mareeps, drop your Vulpix, next turn evolve your Vulpix into a little Ninetales, search it up for 2 rare candies, turn after that, evolve into, oh, you can maybe search for 2 Mareeps, 2 Ampharoses, and then maybe like 2 Mareeps, 1 Ampharos, 2 Vulpixes. I'm trying to see if you could search for like 2 Ninetales, so you can get like 4 Electrizers. This deck's gonna be cool. I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna show you guys something cool with this Pokemon. I'm already seeing the potential. You can see my gears clicking. I like this Pokemon a lot. Although Ninetales, for those who don't know, when you evolve it, search your deck for up to 2 item cards. You can search for your rare candies, so you can make a rare Ampharos, or you can search for, you know, the Electro Power cards. So that's really good. 2 to the Electros out of your deck, and then Ampharos, just 1 energy attack, hits them all back. I really like this card. I want it. I will pay $5 for this card, which is what it's going to be worth, I think. Alright, Blitzel. 60 base HP. Deliver Dash, search your deck for 2 Electro Power cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Yes! Oh, yes! I will be running this in my Ampharos deck. Oh, man, this is going to be good. I like this card. Alright, let's see. Zepstrika, Raid, 30 plus damage. This Pokemon evolved from Blitzel this turn. This deck does 90 more damage. Crayasmin. This deck costs 2 energy. It'd be really cool if that costed 1. And then Mach Bolt, 100 damage. I'm just going to run this card, and I think I'll just run that if I do run it. Alright, Emolga, I'm pretty sure I heard someone talking about this. Nuzzly Gathering, 60 base HP, you can grab it with Elm. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a Pokemon that has a Nuzzle in its attack, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Nuzzle, flip a coin, fetch your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. The Nuzzle mechanic was kind of big a couple sets ago. A bunch of Pokemon had Nuzzle. It has an ability to gather them, so maybe it's useful. Maybe you guys know something I'm not getting about this card. Note that it has no retreat cost. Finally, a card that has no retreat cost. It's about damn time, so pretty good stuff. Alright, Joltik, 40 base HP, Leech Life, 10 damage. Heal this Pokemon damage equal to the damage you deal. For electric. I like the art. It's not Night March. Alright, ability Unnerve on Galvantula. Prevent all effects done to this Pokemon by item or supporter cards from your opponent's hand. Alright, that's unique. And Spider Sled, 40 damage. Search a discard pile for one card and put in your hand. That's not bad. Sucks that's an attack. It'd be cool if that was an ability. Whew! This card would be so meta. Just an ability. Once per turn, search your discard pile for a card put in your hand. It'd be like Macargo, but like more busted. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Helioptile. I've never like looked at this Pokemon ever. Tackle 10 damage, Crash, Crackle 40 damage. 40 damage, not bad. 60 base HP. I like the art. Reminds me of like the 90s. Reminds me of like 90s Taco Bells. You always gotta look at something. There always have something to say. Alright, Heliolisk, right? Electric Energy. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you pick one, deal 30. I like the art. It's like going in the sun. Don't apply weakness resistance. Makes sense. Volt Switch. Oh, Volt Switch. Cool. And you switch it with one of your bench Pokemon. So 90 damage and you go for a free switch. Not amazing because that attack costs 3 energy. Because like a Lightning and a Colorless. So not amazing, but you know, cards like this have to exist. Like I said, they got a filler card. Alright, another amazing card. We go through the filler cards and we get something real good. Tapu Koko Prism Star. Remember, you can only run one of these things, right? You can only run one. It's a basic. 130. And let's see what you do here. Ancestor's Dance. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may use this ability. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon and attach 1 Lightning Energy from your discard pile to each of them. Then put this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. So you RFG it, but if it's on your bench and you choose 2 of your bench Pokemon and you give them each an energy, so it's like energy acceleration. Really good stuff. It has a Mach Bolt which deals 120. Not really amazing there, but I really like that you can accelerate your energy and get your like engines going with this card. Really, really good. You're gonna have to Ultra Ball it or like Nest Ball it out, but I think this card's gonna see a ton of play. You can definitely expect this with like, you know, the Zapdos decks and other things like that coming out soon. So be on the lookout for this card. If you pull it, it's gonna be worth something. So pretty good stuff. I think it's a great card. So we got Ziora, another basic, one of the legendary cards. Looks like it's probably one of the promos or something. Slash 20 damage and Wild Bolt, 120 damage, deals 120 to itself. Not really amazing. I don't see a way that you can get that much energy and it deals damage to itself. Not really feeling it, but you know, cards like that, that's popular. Speaking about popular, guys, we got Gengar Mimikyu. Holy moly. This card, 240, weakness to dark, 2 retreat cost on its weird Pokemon that like don't normally have retreat cost. Kind of weird. So Poltergeist, 50 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand. The deck does 50 damage. 50 times for each trainer card you find there. So that's actually pretty decent. It sucks it costs 2 Psychic Energy, and I don't really, it's RNG based, so like, if they know they're playing Gengar Mimikyu, they're just not going to have a handful of trainers. They're going to discard those trainers with Ultra Balls. They're going to play around it, and, you know, maybe Marsh Shadow more often. More often than not, you're not going to be doing more than like 100, and I don't know if that's good at all. Let's see if Whorehouse makes up for it. Number 2, GX attack, you only use 1. Your opponent can't play cards in their hand during the next turn. Oh, well that makes it so Poltergeist can do a lot of damage. That makes sense. This Pokemon has at least 1 extra Psychic Energy attached to it in addition to its cost. Each player draw cards and they'll have 7 cards. Okay, so that's how this card works. You go for your GX attack and you hit him with the biggest Poltergeist they ever seen in their life because they have a 7-card hand. Most decks are mostly trainers. And then you just one-shot one of their mons. So pretty cool. It's definitely a gimmicky card. Someone's going to make it work because Gengar and Mimikyu are both fan favorites. I think it's cute. I think it's funny. But I don't expect to see that much out of it at like tournaments and stuff. Alright, we got an Nidoran female, Psychic type. I've always thought it's weird that poisons are psychic, but let's see. Call for Family, switch decoration Pokemon you put on your bench, then shuffle your deck. Pretty good. I've always liked Call for Family cards. Let's help you hit your curve. You know, definitely outclassed by things like, you know, Alolan and Vulpix that can search your deck for 2 Pokemon, but this goes right onto your bench immediately, and so like next turn you can evolve that Pokemon. So that's okay, but it does cost an energy. Scratch deals 20, not bad. Note that it does have 60 HP, so you can get it with Elves. So again, not a terrible card. Nidorina, right? Family Rescue. Shuffle 5 poison Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. So you ability, the unique attack. And then we got Bite for 30. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so far these are going okay. Nidoqueen, 160. I like the art. Definitely cool art. Mother Call. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, except for GX or EX. That's unique. And reveal it and put it in your hand. And then shuffle your deck. And Power Lariat, 10 damage plus 50 more damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. Huh. It's a unique card. You can't get GXs or EXs. What are you going to get? I guess this will help you get decks that, like, are single-prize attackers that use, like, this works in, like, Charizard, you know, just saying, it works in Charizard, it works in, like, decks that, you know, I guess it could work in Venusaur Tag Team, because you can search for Venusaurs and stuff like that, but I don't know how I really feel about this card. I feel that it's definitely niche, and we don't know what the game's going to look like in, like, 3 or 4 sets from now, so who knows? This card might see a ton of play in a few sets once they find some, like, broken combo for it, but being a Stage 3, needing rare candies to get up to this level, I'd rather run Meganium, I think. That's as weird as that sounds, I'd rather run Meganium. Alright, Nidoran. Alright, Nidoran. 60. We got Peck for 10, Horn Attack for 20. Makes sense. I think the Nidoran female is better. Nidorino. We got Peck 20, Horn Drill 60. Man, that's supposed to KO. I like the Horn Drill is 1 Psychic, 2 Colorless, though. It'd be really lame if it was like 2 Psychic, 1 Colorless. This lets it so like a DC can do something. I guess 1 redeeming quality. Note that has 2 retreat costs. It's kind of lame. So did Nidorino. Alright, Nidoking. Redeem yourself. Nidoking 160, my boy. Yo, drag off. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. This deck does 50 damage to the new active Pokemon. It'd be cool if the first Drag-Off did damage, but being able to pick what they bring out is pretty decent. King Drums, 100 plus damage if Nidoqueen is in your bench. This attack does 100 more damage. Alright, now it's starting to click. This is a team deck made with Nidoqueen, Nidoking. The Nidoqueen lets you search all of your Nidoran male cards, and I wish that it did 100 for each Nidoqueen. Doesn't say that. If Nidoqueen's bench does 100 more. Let's say if I had 2, it'd be really cool if it did 100 plus 100 plus 100, but I think this is pretty cool. I'm sure someone will make this deck. It's going to be really, really cheap. All you really need is like 6 cards, and they're all going to be like commons probably. I really don't know what rarity this thing is, but I don't expect it to be super hard to get. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'll probably mess around with it. I think it'll be fun. The Call for Family deck. We'll see if it works. Tentacool, Psychic type. What do you deal? Wrap 10 damage with the coin of head. Your opponent's Pokemon's paralyzed. I love it. Love those cards. So good. Tentacruel. Ooh, this looks good. Oh man, it is good. All right. Yo, colorless energy. You can run this in anything. Void Tentacles. Your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned and confused. I love seeing it. This goes really well with that Parasect that we talked about earlier. Your opponent's confused Pokemon take 20 damage in between turns. I love it. And Paranormal. Ooh. 70 damage, Psychic Colorless, prevent all damage on this Pokemon attacks of Ultra Beast during your opponent's next turn. Really niche card with that second attack. Obviously, you might just run this as like a 1 energy attacker in like a meme deck or something if you're even going to run it. But the second attack, 70 damage. It makes it so like things like Ultra Necrozma, you know, Buzzwole. There's Buzzwole Tag Team GX coming out with like Pheromosa in the next set. If those decks are really popular, who knows? This might be able to actually do some work as a rogue deck. I think it's really cool. I like Tentacool and Tentacruel. This is really cool stuff. I like it. I like it a lot. Grimer, pound, 10 damage, 80 base HP, extra thick, 2 retreat costs, so thick. Muck, that art is so sad. Poison Gash, your opponent's poison Pokemon remain poisoned even after evolving or devolving. Unique, I will say that. Definitely unique. But I do think that's not amazing. Let's see, Toxic Secretion, 40 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is not poisoned, put 2 damage counters on poison between turns instead of 1. Alright, that's good. That's a good thing. So, like, they're going to be stuck poisoned forever, and that's pretty good. Maybe it'll see play. Who knows? If that was an ability to make him continually take stack stuff from Toxic, I think it'd be cool, but I guess it just matters like how many mucks you can have on the board. Alright, Alola Marowak, Psychic type. Alright, Psychic type. Alright, Awesome Cubone, Limbo. Search up to 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. Note this doesn't cost any energy. It's a good card so far. And then Alola Circle, 20 damage attack, 20 damage times around Pokemon you haven't played with Alolan in its name. Oh man, that's unique. I've never seen a card like that. That first attack is what you use it for. You're just going to use this to accelerate if you use it for anything. It might see play. Who knows? So we got Starmie. Note that we had the Staryu. Staryu is a water type. Starmie's a psychic. Strange Wave. 40 damage. Search after 3 water or 3 psychic energy charge. Attach from one of your bench Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. This card's going to see play. In meme decks. No retreat cost. I love it. That's so good. Yeah, 40 damage, 1 energy, and complete acceleration. Like, 3 is the magic number. If this card said 2, it'd be completely, like, underwhelming. But 3 makes it so like you can power up GXs, you can power up like the tag teams, you can power up the good stuff. All you gotta do is hit your Star U on curve, and you just go into Starmie and actually just completely dominate stuff. And you can do it to Water or Psychics. I really like this card. I will use this card if no one else does. I promise you. I promise you, it's so good. Mr. Mime, basic Pokemon ability: Scoop Up, Block. Your opponent's Pokemon have any damage turns on them, and any cards attached to this Pokemon can't be put to your hand. So no Acerolas, no Scoop Ups, no AZs, no nothing like that. Really good card so far. Let's see what its attack does. Cybolt, 20 damage, flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon's not paralyzed. For a DCE without ability, who knows? You might be able to lock some decks that can mess with people. Might be good. Who knows? Probably not. Talking about cards that might be good, Mr. Mime GX, ability Magic Odds. So this Pokemon will be damaged by an attack. Prevent that attack's damage done to this Pokemon. If that damage is 10, 30, you're seeing a trend, it's odd. 50, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, or 250. If they go over that, if they go to 270, they've gone too far. They can start dealing that damage to you. And then its attack is Breakdown. For each card in your opponent's hand, put 1 damage counter on their active Pokemon. It starts off really low, right? And note that it puts damage counters instead of like dealing damage. That actually really does matter. But a lot of decks, like once they realize they can't hit you, they're just going to have a crap ton of cards in their hand that they can't get rid of because they can't do anything. A lot of decks, like that Pikarom deck, for example, after it uses its GX attack, its other attack deals 150. That's all Pikarom can do. All it can do is 150. So a lot of decks, if the meta becomes really, really popular on a certain type of deck, that's odd. Mr. Mime might be a perfect counter. Life Trick GX, heal Hollow damage from this Pokemon. Not really amazing, but who knows, it might save you. Who knows? Cost colorless, I like it. Jinx. That Mr. Mime's going to see play in some decks. A lot of people are talking about it. Jinx, base Pokemon, Dazzle Dance. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Works with Parasect. Strange Dance, puts 2 damage counters equal to the number of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So 2 energy, and you can put up to 6 if they have a full bench in any way you like. So you put 3 over there, 2 over there, 1 over there, 1 over there. Pretty good. Be able to spread some damage. Jinx is always a card that people like to meme with too, so who knows? Might see playing some meme decks. Cosmog, ability Cosmoguard. As long as the Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks. Pretty good. You can search with Elms. Mumble for 10 damage. Always a pleasure getting new Cosmog cards to be able to go in like different forms of Necrozma and stuff like that, and like Solgaleo and what have you. Cosmogem, Nap, heal 20 damage. Has 100 base HP. Really good. Pretty good. Alright, man, we're about halfway through. We got Mankey. Scout, look at your opponent's hand. Glow Kick, 30 damage. Very similar to an old Mankey. I think that used to be an ability on the old Mankey from the Jungle set, if I'm mistaken. Primeape, dude, I like that art. Primeape's one of my favorite Pokemon. Low Kick, 30 damage. Wreck, 80 damage. This is a Stadium play. This is 80 more damage than discard that Stadium. That's cool. 160. It sucks it costs fighting and a DCE, but who knows? It might see play. Who knows? I wish I had no retreat. Wish I had no retreat. Alright, these Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are a tag team. We'll get Hitmonchan first, because he's how this actually goes off. So you got Hitmonchan, base Pokemon, hit and away, 30 damage. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Pretty much a hit and run, right? Not hitting away, hit and run. It's more like a U-turn. And Magnum Punch for 70. The art's hilarious on this card. And, you know, you just hit him, with and you go for 30, and you get a free switch in your Hitmonlee. And what this thing does is, it's a special combo. This attack can only be used if Hidden Away was used in your previous turn. This attack does 90 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and you don't apply weakness and resistance. So you hit him for 30, you come in and deal 90, and these are both 1 energy attacker, 1 prize attackers. You got Mega Kick for 90 damage, so these two go in conjunction with each other. I don't think they're going to see a lot of play, but it's always nice to see synergy. The art's very similar on these two cards. It's definitely like wonky, so yeah, it's cool. I like the Hitmonchan's art. It's kind of like it reminds me of like the old art from like some of the older sets. I definitely like it a lot. Cool stuff. We got Omanite. We got a fighting type Ward Helix on here. Tickle, 30 damage, 12 coin of head. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That's good. 30 and paralyzed? Note that you have to evolve this from Mysterious Fossil, but makes sense. He's an evolved Pokemon, even for that big damage. And then we got Stage 2 Omastar, Fossil Barrier. As long as this Pokemon is in play, if you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent can't play any items. Fight 60. So maybe you might be able to get your opponent locked into a situation where they can't Ultra Ball, they can't do anything. Maybe you can just lock them, because you have to have fewer Pokemon in play. You get them to where you only have Omastar, and Omastar is all you need to succeed. That's kind of cool. I don't know how that card would be used competitively. Maybe you have like your main attacker as your big tag team or something like that, and just Omastar and only sit on 2 Pokemon, and make it so your opponent, a lot of decks usually like to fill up the bench and set up everything, and then they need the item cards to make it so they can like actually hit their engine. Maybe this card can stop that. It might see play. Who knows? Definitely kind of cool. We got Kabuto coming in hot. Fighting Energy, Shell Ram. Remember, it's another Pokemon that has to go for Mysterious Fossil. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks, and it deals 40. Not bad. 90 base HP on Kabuto as well. How much did Omanite have? 90 as well. Pretty good. Extra thick so far. We got Kabutops. Let's see its ability. As long as Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any supporters. Ooh, that card's gonna do something. There's always effects when like you have Pokemon that say your opponent can't play supporters. It reminds me of like a Shock Lock type thing. Like there's gonna be abilities to say your opponent can't do supporters. Being able to say your opponent can't do something is really, really good. When you say they can't do supporters, and then like you got the Omastar says they can't do items, that has the potential to like lock people out of the game. It's definitely good. Note that this Pokemon has to be active, and Omastar just has to be in play. Note that they had it so Omastar goes in the back, Kabutops goes on front. Rock Slide, 80 damage, doesn't flinch. This attack does 20 damage to 2 opponents' bench Pokemon. This is gonna be cool. Like Kabutops and Omastar both evolved from like Mysterious Fossil clones. I wonder if you can go Ditto into like Omanite. Probably. But yeah, 80 damage and then 20 to 2 of your opponent's bench. They can't play supporters, they can't play items if you're using the deck to its fullest potential, and that's definitely usable. Definitely usable. Who knows, we might see something. Oh man, I love this art. Look at that art, that's so cool. Larvitar is such a cool Pokemon. 70 base, you can't grab it from Elms. Never lucky. Chip away, double colorless, 30 damage, attack's not affected by any effects. Ooh, those are always good. Those are always good. Some cards say like, this card can't take damage from like anything. And this gets around that. Pretty cool. Pupitar, payback 30 plus. If your opponent has only 1 prize card left, stack does 90 damage. When your back's to the wall, Pupitar comes in hot. Note that it only gets 10 base HP from evolving. Never lucky. And this probably just goes in conjunction with like the Tranchar that came out last set. I don't know if there's a Tranchar in this set. We're gonna find out. Maybe it's a dark type. So Pancham, 60 base HP, grab with thumbs, double colorless, arm thrust, 40 damage, flip a coin. If tails attack fails, if heads discard what energy card at your opponent's active Pokemon. So energy, being able to discard energy, always a good thing. 2 retreat costs is kind of lame. 2 retreat costs kind of lame, like even Pupitar. Pupitar has 1 retreat cost, Larvitar has 2. That's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. So it's been a while since we got a new Lycanroc. So Lycanroc 200 energy. It's Lycanroc GX. So if you get knocked out, you get to take 2 prizes. Twilight Eye. When you play this card from hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That is definitely usable in specific decks. So it's not good against like Malamar and other decks that have crazy energy acceleration, but it's great against like Zoroark and decks that use like special energies. So this card might see play. Accelerock is a fighting and double colorless for a big 120. So note that it's different from like Lycanroc, Dusk Form, which deals 110. 120 lets it hit for super effective. Still KO Zoroark and pretty good. Radial Edge GX, 30 damage. This attack does 30 damage times the number of energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. Okay, I dig it. So this card's might be even useful for decks that want to play stall for manipulating their energy. I'm thinking about this card in like expanded with like, Flare Grunts, and then you got like Enhanced Hammers and Crushing Hammers, and just a bunch of other stuff like Zero Sig and stuff for discarding energy. Who knows? It might see play. I definitely think this card's better in expanded, as weird as that sounds, because those decks are more prevalent in those formats. But who knows? Who knows? It has 2 retreat costs, kind of lame. But GX attack's not terrible either. It can KO stuff. Alright, we got Alolan Grimer. We had regular Grimer earlier, so this thing has 70. Chemical Breath, 20 damage. Stack does 50 more damage. Treats special condition effect in your opponent's active Pokemon. This card's going to be usable just by itself, I think. 50 damage ain't no slouch. You don't even have to evolve it. You just have the Grimer, and you put like Toxic, or you put Poison up on stuff, put stuff on your opponent's bench and stuff like that. Remember, the Pokemon like keep their statuses if you have that other Muck in play. And this can hit for huge just without even evolving. Pretty good. Alright, we got Muck. Alolan Muck, Starvation Rations. Good HP, huge retreat cost. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, evolve one of your Pokemon in your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your opponent's deck and discard as many item cards as you find there as you like. Then shuffle the many cards in your opponent's deck. It's decent. Item cards, I don't think we currently have ways to get items back easily. There's not really a ton of ways to get cards from your discard pile back to your hand or back to your deck, and I don't think there's ways to get items back in your deck. That's what I mean. I don't think there's ways to recycle items right now as easily. Like, there's GX attacks that let you do it, but like, supporters and random abilities let you. I don't think there's that many ways to do it. So DCE double colorless, Gunk Shot. Your opponent's active Pokemon's now poison. Not amazing. This card's not as like good as other Alolan Mucks, but yeah, that's what we're talking about. There's the T-Tar. So this card evolves from the Pupitars and stuff like that. Decent art, 170. Alright, Dark and double color. So that does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance. So it's a step up on Fly and Flip. 30 is a lot of damage to everything. That's pretty good. And Bite Off, 4 energy, 1 dark, 3 colorless, 130 plus. If everyone's active Pokemon is Pokemon EX or Pokemon GX, this is 100 more damage. I like this card. I've always liked decks like this that are really anti-meta. 230 for 4 energy. I don't know how you get to 4 energy on this thing, but like, if you can get it, holy moly, you're going to deal a massive amount of damage to your opponent, and just one-shot everything. This one-shots like Zoroark's, and can even one-shot with like a Choice Band a bunch of those tag teams, so pretty good. I think that card's going to maybe see play. It's definitely possible. We're getting into the good dark cards, man. Dark cards awards at this gen, I believe it. So Poochyena, 70 base, can't grab with them. Dark Howl, search up for 2 dark Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck, and then Bite for 10. I like that the first attack's colorless, and I like that it only has 1 retreat. I don't like that it has 70 base health. Mightyena, Bite, 30 damage for a dark, and Evil Fang, 50 damage. Just card a card from your opponent's hand without looking. Also does 50, it has 1 retreat. The card's not terrible. Being able to influence your opponent's hand size is sometimes really good. You know, you may be thinking like, oh, it only does 50, but if you make them brick, if you discard their 1 draw supporter and then slowly pick off the other cards and they're in top deck mode, sometimes this card can be all you actually need to win the game. After colorless, it might actually be usable. You never know. Through the use of like correct hand mechanics, like being able to Marsh Shadow your opponent down to 4. You already have a Mightyena on the board. Maybe even search for Marsh Shadow and Mightyena for your. Oh, it says search for 2 dark Pokemon. LOL. But yeah, it's possible that you can make your opponent go to like 2 or 3 cards at the start of their turn on like the second turn of the game, and being able to do that, you can't slouch it. Like, people can brick so hard, and that card's definitely usable. It's worth talking about. This is my favorite card in the set. This is it. This is my favorite card, guys. I've been recording for a hot minute now. This is the best card in the set, I think. And you may be thinking you're crazy, but I actually think this card is stupid, nuts, broken. This card is so good. 100 base HP, 1 retreat cost, amazing ability, attack costs a lot of energy, we'll talk about it. Ability, Dark Annulment. As long as Pokemon is in play, just in play, does not have to be your active. Your opponent's active basic Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 colorless more. Right, so you can have 4 Absol in play, and that increase your opponent's retreat cost by 4. And you may be thinking like, that's it, no one retreats. Everyone just uses Guzma. That's not the point. Shadow Seeker is its attack. It costs 1 dark and 2 colorless, so you can go for a dark and double colorless. And Shadow Seeker, 30 plus damage. Just does 30 more damage, so it's 30 plus, not 30 times, for each for each energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. So you're increasing every one of your Pokemon's retreat cost by 4 with these Absol. Right, so let's take a random Pokemon. Let's look at Pikarom. Let's look at Pikarom, because it's going to be big. And it's a basic, because all the tag teams are basics. Let's look at Pikarom. Where you at, Pikarom? It's the top, right? Alright, Pikarom. So, it's already 3. 3 retreat cost. So 3 plus 4 is 7. And then you almost want to say 8 because it deals 30. So 8 times 3 is 240. Hey, that's a one-shot on Pikarom. Let's talk about Bucephalon. Bucephalon GX has 2 retreat cost, right? Bucephalon GX has 2 retreat cost. So 2 retreat. So 2 plus 6 goes to 7. 7 times 3 is 210. I think it has 200 base, but I mean, 210 still KOs as well. Let's talk about Zapdos. Another card I said was going to be absolutely amazing. 2 basic. 2 plus 4, 7 goes to 210 KOs. Let's talk about Buzzwole. I think it has 3. So 3 plus 4 goes to 8. 240. That KOs Buzzwole. Let's talk about literally any deck. You got the Venusaur tag team. You're going to have the Wailord tag team. Let's talk about Wailord tag team. We haven't even talked about Wailord tag team. It's going to be one of the better GXs or tag teams in the deck in the format right now. I think it has 4. So 4 plus 4 plus the 1 for the 30. So 9 times 3, 270 plus a Choice Band. That's a KO on the Wailord GX. Same thing, Snorlax Eevee, I think that's 3 or 4. KOs that as well. You're starting to see a pattern here. It KOs everything. It KOs everything. And you're thinking like, that's great. But it only KOs, it only does this effect on basics. Well, let's talk about Zoroark, for example. Zoroark has 2 retreat cost. 2 plus the 30, so 3, that's 90. You attach a Choice Band and deals 120, which is half of Zoroark. So you still 2-shot Zoroark. You trade evenly with Zoroarks. They get, you hit them, they hit you. You bring another Absol, you hit them, you get 2 prizes, they get 1. You get the idea. And you may be thinking this isn't that great, but we haven't actually shown all the dark cards in the set. There's going to be a stadium that makes it so every time a dark Pokemon gets KO'd, your opponent takes 1 less prize card. So really, really, really good stadium. Makes so you can effectively go infinite with this card. All you're going to be able to do is recycle them back in your deck and have a way to recycle your energies so you don't deck out. But this card is amazing. Amazing. And there's so many good other supporters for Dark. I plan on like taking this to a ton of events and be on the lookout for this card. I'm gonna make so many decks featuring it. It's probably gonna be the first deck that I showcase in like deck reviews for this channel. I absolutely love it. My favorite card in the set. Absol's one of my favorite. I use the Absol coin on TCGO. I love Absol. Absol's such a cool Pokemon. Spirit Tomb. Soul Compressor. Search your deck for up to 4 Pokemon and discard them. Then shuffle your deck. Maybe an expanded. Hollow Shot deals 20. No weakness or resistances. Makes sense. It's Spirit Tomb. Pretty cool. We got a Zora. Finally, about time we get some new Zoras. 60, so you can search it with Elm. Hide in Darkness. Switches Pokemon with one of your bench. Not bad. Being able to get your Zora off the board if you open it at the start, not always a bad thing. We have a new Zoroark here. Probably not as good as the Zoroark from Breakpoint, but Taunt. When you switch opponent's active Pokemon with their active, or sorry, switch their bench when they're active. Pretty decent, not amazing. And then Dark Colorless Night Punish. 20 damage. She's got 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile up to a maximum of 10. So you can deal 220. Sorry, just 200. You can only deal 200. So this works with the Spirit Tomb. I guess this works in Night March. LOL. LOL. Can deal 200. I don't think it's amazing. This card doesn't. It seems underwhelming, and if it's ever gonna see play, it would only be because people like using Zoroark cards because Zoroark's a popular Pokemon. All right, we got Volibee, 60 base HP. Can be searched with Elms. Fetch, draw a card. Jab for 10 damage. Not amazing. Let's see if Mana Buzz does anything. Trash Drop. Discard an item card in your hand. If you use stack, does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness or resistance. That's not amazing. If that did damage, and then you could use Trash Drop, so like if it did like 30 and then 60, I'd like it. Brave Bird, 120, it deals 30 damage to itself. Very underwhelming card. I don't see this is ever going to see play at all. Pangoro, remember there was a Pancham earlier. Let's see. Tighten Up, 60 damage. Your opponent discards 2 cards from my hand. Wow, that's not bad. And Rampage, 170, but you confuse yourself. 4 retreat on this boy. Man. Huh. Discard 2 cards. That is not a slouch. You Marshadow, hit for this, and like they're in top deck mode almost. That's crazy. Like you could peek in red card or Marshadow, then use a Plumina or whatever and discard. That discards an energy. There's a supporter that discards an energy from their hand, or discards cards from their hand. I know that there is. Like discard a random card or something, and then like do this, and they're in top deck mode. That's hilarious. That might be a deck. Yveltal, basic Yveltal, new Yveltal. Here we go. Derail, 30 damage. Discard a special energy card from opponent's active Pokemon. Decent. Cards like that are always good. And then 2 Darkness Energy for Clutch. Your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat. And the best card about this card is, speaking of retreat, this card doesn't have one. So no retreat on this card. And then they can't retreat. So you hit for 60, they can't retreat. Then you can free retreat into something you have that punishes them. I like it. I like it a lot. Card might see play, definitely possible. A new Hoopa. Hoopa GX. Rogue Ring. Search your deck for 2 cards and put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Bad. Very similar to Scoundrel Ring, where you search your deck for EXs. That's his old ability. If that was an ability, when you drop this thing, search your deck for 2 cards, that'd be busted. I'm glad that doesn't work like that. That'd be too busted. Alright, Dark Strike, 160. This Pokemon can't use Dark Strike. So you're weaving in, Rogue Rings, maybe your GX attack. Let's see, Devil Hand. Choose 6 of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX and do 30 damage to each of those Pokemon. You may choose the same Pokemon more than once, and you can't use more than 1 GX attack. Alright, cool. So you can deal, up to 180 to like a single target. I like this card. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play because it's going to be really hard to accelerate the Dark Energy on this thing. But Hoopa's always been one of my favorite cards. I really like Hoopa EX. So I really like to see if this card even exists. Note that it's a little bit underwhelming, but who knows? Who knows? Rogue Ring might be like a decent card. Like, who knows? There might be decks that like need to hit their curve. They might just use this as their active, like, I'm going to fodder this Pokemon. Maybe run a couple energy or rainbow energy to supplement using it. And search for any 2 cards, put them in your hand. Like, it's not bad. The card's not bad if you're using it just for that. It might be in like a combo deck. You might see play. This is a pretty popular card. Again, note that it's a 250. When stage 3s have 250, you can't sleep on them. But this card is like hidden. It's deceptive with this 250 because its ability, note that it uses all colorless attacks. It's a huge retreat cost. But Scar Charge. Once during your turn before you attack, you may put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. So really, it's like a 220. If you do search your deck for 3 Dark Energy and attach them to it, and then shuffle your deck. So it's able to use both of its attack off nothing. you don't even have to ever hit your energy. This card accelerates itself at the cost of its HP. So actually this card's going to be good so far. Crushing Punch deals 130 and discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This card's, like I said, special energies are more prevalent and expanded, but who knows? This card's going to be really good so far. And Darkest Tornado GX, 10 plus, and it deals 50 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So note, you put 3 damage counters on yourself, so it deals 160 right off the bat, and like what you can do is, it says once during your turn you can do this. So like once during your turn, you load up, maybe do 130, next turn, you know, you can do it again. You can use this ability multiple turns to put multiple damage counters on this guy, and then you can just go for a really big Dark Tornado, and it's not even required that your opponent deal damage to you. You can deal the damage to yourself if you want to, then you can max potion and do your ability again. Helps you cycle out your deck, get all those dark energies out of there, and you know, let you hit for a lot of damage. Pretty cool card. I think it's going to see a lot of play. This has always been like a very popular card, so we can definitely expect to see a lot of it. So Skarmory, basic Pokemon, got a Steel and a colorless Calm Strike, 20 damage. Your opponent already used a GX attack this game, does 70 more. So 70 plus 20, 90 damage for 2 energy. Not amazing, not amazing. Steel Wing, 90 damage. Your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. It sucks that costs like 3 energy. But, you know, who knows? But like Frying Pan, damage mitigation can go crazy. So who knows? No, I don't think it's going to see play. Skarmory's always a popular Pokemon. Alright, talking about cards that are going to be popular, this card is crazy. I think this card should have been a Prism Star, but it's not. This is the card that makes that Zapdos card from earlier work. So, Witching Star, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may use this ability. Once during your turn before you attack, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one trainer card you find there, reveal it and put it in your hand, shuffle the other cards to your deck. This Pokemon is now asleep. So the way this is going to work is you use this ability, right? And you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you get to look for any trainer card. That's great! And then what you do is you search for a skateboard or whatever. And so a skateboard is a card that lets you switch while having a status condition, and it makes your retreat 1 colorless less. So the way this works is you search your deck for an escape board, you put it on this thing, and you switch into that Zapdos. Remember, Zapdos' attack, it says, if it comes in from the bench this turn, it deals 80 damage for 1 electric energy. And then, you know, next turn, you retreat it out for its 1 energy cost if you can, or do literally whatever. Come back out with this Jirachi, right? Or somehow get, like, the Jirachi back on the board. Maybe Jirachi that turn, search your deck for a switch. You see how we're going for a switch back in, and every single turn you're able to, you're pretty much through the use of your deck's mechanics, able to go for Zapdos every single turn. Just because this card exists, you're going for this card. Like I said, I think it should have been a Prism Star. I really do like Jirachi. It's been one of my favorite Pokemon for a really long time, and I'm probably going to pick up a bunch of these and a bunch of those Zapdoses and make a really cool deck with them. Who knows? I might even end up taking it to Collinsville. As a deck that costs 2 energy for 30, not bad. I wish it was 1 energy attack that dealt like 10 or 20, because sometimes chip damage is more important, and it's going to be hard to get 2 energy on this thing, but it's definitely going to see a crap ton of play. Alright, Bronzor, what do you got? Head Start Evolution. This Pokemon evolves on the second player's turn or the first turn you play it. That's funny. So you can evolve this thing immediately. What does it evolve into? Bronzong, my boy. How much retreat cost on this thing? Only 1 for a Bronzor. Huh, that's not bad. Has an attack deals 20 for 2 energy. Alright, Bronzor. Bronzong, what do we got? Heat Proof. This Pokemon takes no damage from fire Pokemon attacks. Wow. So that means if fire becomes absolutely dominant, if the whole meta is all fire decks, even expanded, like we got Volcanion running wild, we got that Charizard deck, we got Blacephalon running wild, Bronzong, but Bronzong can't take damage. I can't do damage. Even though your attack sucks, it will eventually win 70 damage, and your opponent's Pokemon is now confused. Might see play. You never know. Cards like this are crazy. Cards like this have effects that say, I cannot take damage from X thing. You can never count them out. Who knows? Like, literally, like a fire deck would have Tapu Lele to, like, fight this thing. And you resist Psychic. But, I mean, I think it's a cool card. I like that it exists, and I like that the Bronzor can go right into it. Like, I like that you can drop the Bronzor and be like, bro, you can't even stop me from setting up. I'm going right into Bronzong. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. Pretty cool card. I have Ferrothorn. I wish Ferrothorn had an ability that said fire attacks couldn't do anything. Continuous Soul. Flip a coin till you get tails. It does 20 damage for each heads. Note that case 1 Steel. Pretty cool card. I've always liked cards like this. Very similar to Steel Barrage. What is it? Geodude from the Fossil set. You can potentially KO anything for 1 energy. Potentially. You never get tails. If you're the luckiest person in the world, you can do it. It's possible. Ferrothorn. Decent art. 1 Steel Energy. Guard Press. 20 damage. Your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. I think this card's already better than Skarmory because it costs 1 energy to do that effect. And then Throne Pod. 80 damage. Does 20 damage times the number of Metal Energy attaches Pokemon to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, up to 5. Alright, so you can slap someone in the face if you have like crazy Steel Energy, you know, manipulation. It's definitely possible. You can do 80 to active and like 100 to back row. I like this card. I think this card's going to see play in some sort of rogue deck with like crazy Steel Energy acceleration through the use of like, you know, Metal Link's Magna Zone and stuff like that. I'll probably give this card a shot. Definitely watch out for this Pokemon in rogue decks on like TCGO. It's going to see some play. Bisharp, Steel Bisharp, so you can grab it. Oh, was there 60 on this or 70? Alright, so you can grab that with Elms. You can also grab this with Elm. Also note, you can grab like these Pokemon with like Heavy Ball. I should probably talk more about Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball is probably going to see a lot of play this format because the tag teams are big Pokemon. Pawniard, Stiffen, your opponent's Pokemon takes 30 less damage, so they're really going for that theme here with these Steel types. Scratch, Colorless for 20, not bad, has Retreat. Bisharp, what we got? Dual Strike, 30 damage. This Pokemon doesn't have any damage counters on it. It does 90 more, so if you're at full, this does 120. And you can just Max Potion and continually do this. So pretty decent card. Power Edge just deals 90 for 3. Not bad. Might see play. Being able to just do 120 and be like, bro, come at me? Not bad. Also note that like through the use of like there's a bunch of Steel cards that like make it so your Steel Pokemon take reduced damage, and it might just make it so Pokemon that do like small amounts of damage just can't even hit it. It's definitely possible in the right deck. So Cobalion, I heard this card was garbage. 170 on a GX is really low HP. That means he has a... It means he has potential to be dumb, though, because that's what always happens. The dumb ones have potential to be dumb if they have 170. As long as the Pokemon is in play, your Pokemon with energy attached can't be affected by special conditions, and remove all special conditions from those Pokemon. That has the ability to be really good. It does. It technically does have the ability to be really good. And 2 Steel Energy, Dual Sabers. If there's a stand card in play, this attack does 60 more damage. So 2 energy for a 110. Not amazing. Iron Wall, GX. During your opponent's next turn, none of your opponent's Pokemon can attack. Do a new way to play Pokemon. I don't know how I feel about that GX attack. I think that GX attack should exist. I don't know if Cobalion's a Pokemon to make that work, but I think this Pokemon's better than people give it credit for. I think that this card is the type of card that could see play in a few formats. I think this would be better and expanded, but who knows? Who knows? This Pokemon might be the card that you put as like a one of in like a deck to stop yourself from getting hit by like random abilities that deal like poisons and burns and paralyzes. Like this would stop Shock Lock. Stuff like that. You have to attach a Metal Energy, but you get what I'm saying here. This card could do something potentially, so it might not be completely useless, and I think it's better than people give it credit for. But I don't think that you would just run it in a deck that... I don't think you'd run it in like 90% of the decks ever made. So Hone Edge, here we go. New Hone Edge. Flip a coin. If it has discard an energy card, it actually wants to act the Pokemon. It'd be cool if this did damage, but I can understand it. And Doughblade, here we go. Tool Drop. Alright, Tool Drop's a thing. I heard people talking about this card. Tool Drop, 30 damage for 2 colorless. This deck does 30 damage times the number of Pokemon tools in play, both yours and your opponent's. Tool Drop's like a deck. So people already use this card. I've heard a lot of people talk about this thing. Pokemon tools in play. I think this works with... there was a Tool Drop deck back in the day, too, that you load everything up 30 times. It's a double colorless attacker, decent resistance on Psychic. It's definitely going to see some play. I don't even think you go into Aegislash. I think you just leave it at Hone Edge. That's how Hone Edge works. Royal Guard that takes 40 less damage from attacks. I like it. Gives you a lot more HP. And Pokemon that have that type of ability where they reduce damage is better than just having, like, you could be like, why would you just give it 180? Well, like, Royal Guard lets you be able to use that ability to mitigate damage from multiple attacks. So it's not just giving you 40 more HP. It's giving you, like, 40 more HP, like, multiple times throughout the course of the game. And then Shield Bash, this attack deals 100 damage and isn't affected by affects your opponent's active Pokemon. So this one's going to let you hit things that, like, you know, can't take damage from, you know, like Evolution Pokemon, like through an ability or something. So really good card, might even see play. This card is really, really cool. Aegislash always a fan favorite as well, too. One of the best Pokemon in Gen 6. Alright, Klefki, 60, you can grab with Elms. As long as Pokemon in play, your Metal Pokemon resistance becomes 40. So instead of resisting Psychic for 20, you're going to resist for 40. Is that good? Maybe if Psychics get out of control, it might be decent. And Collide for 30, not amazing. Alright, we got a new Ninetales. Really, really cool card. You guys have seen cards like this before. It has 110 HP, and its attack, or sorry, its ability, first of all, is what makes it good. Prevent the effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's EX and GX. So you gotta be using something that is like not an EX or GX. You gotta use something like that Charizard or, you know, like that Zapdos to even deal damage to this thing. This Pokemon is gonna be absolutely massive. A lot of decks run Alolan Vulpix, the Beacon one that lets you search for like Alolan Ninetales and like other stuff. They're probably just gonna start splashing one of this card because you can just go into this. You can you can just search, or you can play Beacon. Vulpix has an attack that lets you search for no energy. You have for any 2 Pokemon, put them in your hand. You just search for this and you can wall people out. Like, you can search for the 1 card that helps your engine go, and you can search for the Ninetales to help you buy time. Really, really good card. I plan on using this card a crap ton. Luminous Barrier Water Ninetales was a regional a card I took to Coast Base Regionals last season, and I absolutely love it. Finally has its fairy form, and its attack isn't even bad. It has fairy and double colors for 80, so it can actually deal damage. It's very similar to Hoopa, like Super Cybolt Hoopa from a few sets ago. Really good card. Gonna see a crap ton of play as one of in a lot of decks. Mimikyu, Pilfer, draw 2 cards. Pretty decent. Those are the 70. You can't grab it from Elms. And Mimic, your opponent using an attack during your last turn, excluding GX attacks. Very important. Use that attack as its attack. Not amazing. There's a Psychic Mimikyu that does a very similar thing. This is just the fairy one. I like that they're giving, like, they're spreading it around. Note that they're just copying the same cards that are already existing, being like Luminous Barrier, Ninetales, and the Psychic Mimikyu, but it makes sense that these Pokemon just share types, because they do have multiple types, so it makes sense that you make multiple cards for it. We got another tag team on deck. Big 250 tag team, Latios and Latias. Not really a fan of the art, but there are other arts for this card that look definitely better. Remember, if you knock out a tag team, you get 3 prizes. So, first attack, 4 energy, 240, Buster Purge. Discard 3 energy from it, but big 240. Being able to load Psychics is really easy. Like, Malamar, easy. You can load as many Psychics as you want from your discard pile if you have them. So you can just use this attack every single turn if you want to go Latios, Latias, Malamar. Every turn, this attack card only has 1 retreat cost, too. Really good. And it's a dragon type, so it's weak to fairies, so very unique typing. Its GX attack goes Arrow Unit GX. Attach 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Its Pokemon has 1 extra energy attached to it in addition to its cost. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage to this Pokemon during an opponent's next turn. So, really good card. A lot of times, you see GX attacks say, attach 5 energy from your discard pile, and then you just get slapped in the face. This thing lets you set the energy up for free, and you don't get punished for it. So, really good. I really think you're probably going to be using this GX attack if you use this card. So, yeah, good card. Gonna see some play, for sure. Fan favorite Pokemon, decent typing. It sucks that you need 1 water energy to make this work, but I definitely think people can make it work. You can Aqua Patch that 1 water energy on there. Definitely usable Pokemon. So we had a lone executor. We had a couple of lone executors, and note that there isn't any execute in the set, so it makes sense. Tropical Shake, 20 damage plus the number of each basic energy card you discard pile up to 5. So yeah, 120. Right? No, 100. No, up to 5. Yeah, so 120. Pretty good. Dragon, weak to fairy. Might see play. 1 energy attackers do see play in a lot of road decks. It's definitely a possibility. Stage 1, a lone executor, another one. This attack costs no energy, so Eggs Paradise. Draw cards from your deck until you have 6 cards in your hand. Before drawing, you may discard any of your cards in your hand. So this works in decks that need to like discard cards and, get certain cards in the graveyard to work. So this works by, you can also use it with the other executor we just shown and discard all your energy, right? Yep. So you can discard any sort of card you want. This card works in like Expanded, discard like Propagation Executes. This card works in, decks that need to discard very specific cards in the graveyard to work. And you get to fill your hand back up for it, so pretty good. And it doesn't cost any energy, so this could go in, like decks. You don't even need to run like Dragon or Grass or an energy. You can just run this card with Execute to help you hit your curve better. It's definitely possible. And Egg Drop, discard any number of Execute in your hand. This attack does 60 damage for each card you discarded. So like, yeah, again, in Standard, you discard a fat ton of Propagation Execute, you're gonna slap people in the face pretty hard. I like that. And then, for those who don't know, Propagation Execute, effect is if it's in your discard pile, you can put it in your hand. So, pretty good. I like this card. I think it might even see play. Executor is definitely like a meme Pokemon too, so like, it's definitely pretty popular. Alright, Dratini. We got 2 Dratinis. One has 60 base HP, so that means you can grab with them, so it's probably pretty good. Ooh! Lightning Energy, and flip 2 coins if either of them are tails that fails. For 60 though, I'll risk for the biscuit on that. I like that Dratini. What's this Pokemon? 70 HP, so you can't grab with Elms. Protective Skills prevent the effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Not really worth it, and its attack for 1 water. If that was a colorless, it might be a little bit better, but he's in like the water, it looks like, so that makes sense. I like this one a lot better. Risk for the biscuit, the art's pretty funny, and you can grab with Elms, definitely better in my opinion. Let's go for the Dragonair. 90 base HP. Twister, 30 damage, flip 2 coins for each hedge, discard an energy attack to opponent's active Pokemon. If both are tails, it fails. Ooh, I don't like that. But, yeah, it makes sense. Risk for the biscuit. Continuing on this Dragonair. What does this Dragonite do? Do you risk for the biscuit as well, my guy? Fast Call. Once your turn before you attack, you search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle in your deck. Wow, pretty good card. This card can see play in a lot of decks. Being able to get a supporter every single turn, any supporter you want, is really good. Like, let's talk about just combos with Zoroark. You can have Dragonite, search for Mallow, play your Mallow, and then Mallow can put any 2 cards in the top of your deck, and then discard for Zoroark, and Zoroark can draw them. So, like, pretty good stuff. It lets you hit your curve pretty easily. I think this card might see play in, like, Garchomp decks, Garchomp with Cynthia. So search your deck for Cynthia, play the Cynthia, makes sure your Garchomp like pops off. It's a very secondary Pokemon to like the Lucario. Lucario can get you, unless you get another card. So pretty cool card. I think I might see play. Dragonite, again, always a fan favorite. It has an attack that is probably not going to get used, that deals water, electric, and colors for 120. Not amazing, but who knows, it might see play. Speaking of cards that will see play, we got Eevee, Snorlax. Man, this set is huge. I can't believe we've gone through this whole set, this whole video. But 270 on this. I plan on using this card a crap ton. Remember, it's a tag team, so if it gets KO'd, you're going to get 3 prizes. Cheer Up. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Not terrible. Not terrible. This card, it doesn't even need that attack. Like, think of the other GX and tag team Pokemon. They only have, like, the 1 attack and the GX attack, so just having that as an attack, not bad. I'll take it. And, Dump Truck Press, 120 plus, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it deals 120 more damage. They're using Zoroark, delete. They're using Gardevoir, delete. They're using any other type of evolution GX, delete it. This Pokemon is so good. So good. And then Megaton Friends GX, 210. This Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it. In addition to its attack's cost, draw cards when you have 10 cards in your hand. Not an amazing. Reminds me of like Drampa. Yeah, this Pokemon, you may think it's not really that good, but I think it's really going to be popular because evolution decks are popular as well, and you can make it so you can get that energy acceleration onto it with Malamar. Malamar says, as many times as you like before your turn, not as many, yeah, each Malamar can do it once, right? That's how it works, I think. Or it can as many, I don't really remember. But, you know, this card can accelerate energy through use of Malamar, both Magneton forms, and it's colorless, so it can be able to hit with anything. So really good Pokemon. It's definitely going to see play. It just has to get the right deck made for it. I'll be building with it, though, so you guys can see my builds for it as I get them. So Pidgey, you got a 50 base HP Pidgey. Let's see what you do. Collect, draw card, not bad. Gus, double colorless for 20. Has a retreat cost, Let's see if the other one's better. Let's see if the other one has more HP. Quick attack, 10 plus. If you flip the coin of hedge, it says 10 more. I like this one better. Has more HP. Can still deal the same 20 for 1 energy. Sure, the other one could draw a card, but I think this one's a little bit better just because it has more HP. Let's see. Pidgeotto, ability Airmail. Once during turn before you attack, and you look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose one of them, put it in your hand, put the other card in the bottom of your deck. That's amazing. Holy moly. Macargo. Macargo, search your deck for a card, put it on the top of your deck. Pidgeotto, draw it. Like, Macargo Pidgeotto could be a deck. You don't even need to go to Pidgeot. Let's see if Pidgeot does literally anything. Maybe search your deck for your Pidgeot, put it on the top of your deck. Whirlwind, 60 damage. Your opponent switches one of their active Pokemon on their bench. Definitely an old Pidgeot card. Spin Storm. Your opponent puts their active Pokemon, all cards attached to it in their hand. That's hilarious. Great at dealing, if your opponent has like 1 card that has like 1,000,000 energy on it and is set to win the game, back in their hand. Is it amazing? No. I think the Pidgeotto is the card to look for here. Really cool art on this card, and I definitely think it's going to see play with like Zoroark and Macargo. Definitely worth it. And, oh, you can search this card with Elm. It has 60 HP. I love it. This card is so cool. Hopefully Pidgeotto sees some play. Now, 70 HP. Now that's more HP than Pidgeotto. We got Scratch for 10, Bite for 20. Let's see if Persian can do something cool. Make them pay. 20 damage. Your opponent has 4 or has 4. That's a typo. If your opponent has 4 or cards in their hand, they reveal their hand, discard cards you find there until your opponent has exactly 4. So it makes them have 4 cards. And then Sharp Claws deal 30. Flip a coin pads, it deals more. Not amazing, but it makes them go to 4. That's always a good thing if you're trying to make your opponent brick and you want to just draw time to set up. As a 1 energy attacker, deals 20 damage for doing it too. Not terrible, not terrible. Farfetch'd, 80. Collect, draw 2. Alright, not bad. Item Repel, 20 plus, 4 damage. Discard all Pokemon tool cards attached to one of its active Pokemon. If you discard any cards, it does 70 more. So 20 plus 70 for 1 energy, and it's really good at discarding cool tools. It might see play. This card might see play as a 1-of against decks that like really heavily rely on tools. Being able to hit for 90 on a 1-prize attacker and get rid of the tool, really good stuff. This card might see play. Farfetch'd is definitely like a meme card as well. Everyone loves Farfetch'd. Let's see, we got a new Kangaskhan. Alright, new Kangaskhan. Fast Evolution. Search for 2 evolution Pokemon cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. I think it's funny that it does that, and like this Pokemon doesn't evolve. It's kind of weird. But Mega Punch 80. This card might see play in like niche combo decks, but I really doubt it. Really doubt it. I'd rather use like Holo and Ninetales and like Beacon. I'd rather use Beacon. Beacon doesn't have to cost the energy, and you can just search those cards. Beacon's better than the Kangaskhan. Tauros 130. Raging Hard, 10 pluses, 10 damage for each damage counter on all of your Tauros, including Tauros GX. So we're going to have Tauros GX. That is a crazy looking art too. Double colorless attacker. I cannot wait to bust out a Tauros GX meme team deck. Oh man, that looks so much fun. I plan on using that's going to be a blast. This card's going to be hilarious. Watch out for Tauros. Aerodactyl, note that it evolves from a fossil, so this card, if it was just a basic, be busted, right? Let's look at, Aerodactyls are always busted, but Supersonic, they're confused for 1 energy. But for 3 energy, Fossil Pig, 90 damage. If you have no Pokemon GX or EX on your bench, it does 90 more, so 3 energy, again, that can totally be accelerated by Malamars, by Magnezones, by, both Magnezones, stuff like that, and you just 180. For technically free. So Aerodactyls are always really cool, but again, you have to evolve them from fossils, so they're not broken. They're balanced. So Lugia here, basic Pokemon, Power Charge, search for Dr. Basic Energy, and attach it to this Pokemon. Yeah, not bad. 30 for acceleration. And then a Wind Blast, Blast Wind for 110. I don't think this Pokemon's amazing. We've seen a lot of like Malamar decks like carry Pokemon that have like these huge attacks, but this Pokemon doesn't have a type, so it can't really hit for super effective or anything. So I don't think it's going to see a lot of play versus like Onix, for example, that has an attack that costs 4 and deals 120, but that's super effective against like Zoroark. So this Pokemon can't really do that much, but Lugia is a popular card. I think Shining Lugia is just better in the first place. Zangoose, here we go. The resolution for this card is not good. Base Pokemon, Headhunt. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal any number of Pokemon you find there and put them in your hand. Discard all the other cards. Okay, not bad. Maybe it can help you hit your curve. Draw 6, not bad. And double colors for 40. How's the retreat cost? But you just use the energy you use to retreat it. That's okay. It's okay. We have Bill's Analysis, new trainer card. With the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 2 trainer cards you find there and put them in your hand. Then shuffle the other cards back in your deck. Oh, it's a supporter. Yeah, it says a supporter. If this wasn't a supporter, it'd be busted. As a supporter, I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan. Not a fan of this. Alright, Black Market. Here we go. This card that makes the Absol card that I was talking about work. It also works for a bunch of other cool dark cards. Stadium. And so you can't have more than 1 Prism Star. Note that if you can have 4 of this card would be busted. But you can only have 1, and if it ever hits your graveyard in any way, it is removed from game for the remainder of the game. So when a dark Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, has any dark energy attached to it and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, that player takes 1 fewer prize card. So if they knock you out by just using an effect that says knock it out, they still get to take their prizes, but if it's dealt through damage and you have a dark energy attack, they don't get a prize for it if you're using a 1 prize attacker. If you're using like a Zoroark GX and you have a dark energy on it, they only get 1 prize for it. So that's really, really good. And whenever any player plays an item or supporter card from their hand, prevent the effects of that card done to the stadium card. So it's a Prism Star. It can't be Field Blown. It can't be like Zero Sick or something like that to get rid of. Abilities can get rid of it. Weighing over another stadium card can get rid of it. That's the only way to get rid of this card. But this card makes it so your Absols can effectively loop infinitely. Same thing for your Hoopas. Your baby Hoopas can like loop infinitely with this card. Really, really good card. One of the best cards in the set, in my opinion, and I cannot wait to build some amazing decks with it because this card's going to pop off. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it. Talking about other cards that I love. This is one of my favorite supporters in the game. Brock Skrit's getting reprinted. That's right, one of my favorite cards is getting a reprint. Shuffle any 6 combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from discard pile into your deck. You can only use 1 supporter per turn, obviously. So this is a card that really works in Typhlosion, and Typhlosion's now an expanded deck, but reprinting Brock Skrit means we're going to be able to get a full art Brock Skrit, and that's the best thing about this card. Full art Brock Skrit is so cool looking. Buff padding. Attach Pokemon tool that doesn't have on it. Alright, so it's a tool, right? If a Pokemon attached to has a retreat cost of 4 colors, its maximum HP is increased by 50. So people are going to definitely be using this card on a bunch of those tag teams that have those huge retreat costs. Gives them 50 more HP. That's humongous. 50 HP ain't no slouch. That's a lot. Like, Wailord is going to be absolutely massive with this thing. Did we even get to Wailord? Where's Wailord? Wailord's probably at the bottom. But yeah, it's like 50 more HP is huge. You gotta Field Blower with these things, man. Field Blower is gonna be pretty good. Alright, so we have a bunch of these different like girl trainer things like that. This card can't be played in your opponent's active Pokemon. Is a stage 2 Pokemon. Search deck for 2 cards, put them in your hand. You can play 1 supporter. Yeah, this card's actually probably the best out of all these girls. There's gonna be a theme of them, and they have like effects. If you discard a bunch of the other ones, you can do like some crazy busted supporter effects in conjunction. It's like a combo deck. This card's actually pretty good. If they have a stage 2 Pokemon, search your deck for any 2 cards, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Very niche supporter, but it might be good if stage 2s are busted. Dangerous Drill, right? You can only play this card if you discard a dark Pokemon from your hand. Discard a Pokemon tool or special energy card from one of your opponent's Pokemon, or discard any stadium card in play. So you can't hit like the Prism Star Stadiums, but you can discard a bunch of other stuff, and you can play as many items card as you like. So pretty decent. I don't think it's going to see play in this set, but who knows? In later sets, this card might be good at getting dark Pokemon in the graveyard. I can think about, there's a Darkrai whose effect says if he's in your graveyard, put him on your bench. So you can discard that Darkrai and effectively make the negative effect of this card mitigated. So who knows? Might see play in future sets. Electro Charger. Here we go. Flip 2 coins for each hedge. Shuffle an Electro Power from your discard pile into your deck. I'd rather keep Electro Powers in the discard pile so I can use it with Ampharos, but I like that this card exists. It's kind of cool. Might see some play. Erica's Hospitality. Erica's always been a fan favorite card as well. If you have more than 6 cards in your hand, including this one, you can't play this card. So you can't just use this to draw like infinitely more cards to get a ton of cards, but draw a number of cards up to the number of Pokemon you have in play. So if you have 5 cards in your hand, you can draw 6 and go to 11. That's really good. This card will see play as a draw supporter. This is going to be a very good card. A very, very good card. Expect to see this card being expensive if you get like the reverse, and I don't know if there's a full art of it, but this card's going to be good. It's going to definitely see play. Draw supporters are premium right now, as always. So you can only play this card if your opponent's active Pokemon is a stage 1 Pokemon. So if they got like Zoroarks, other stuff like that, you draw 4 cards. Not bad. Again, this is a combo deck. All these things are combo cards. So we're going to see combos with them. Fairy Charm Ultra Beast. Alright. Let's see what this does. I haven't seen this one yet. This is new for me too. Attach Pokemon tool. It's a tool. Prevent all damage done to one of your fairy Pokemon from attacks from Ultra Beast. So if you're running a fairy deck and Ultra Beasts are a problem, like, Ultra Necrozma, like that card hits really hard. If those Pokemon are a problem, if Naganadal's a problem, you don't take damage. That's not bad. It might actually see play. It can always get field blown away, so watch out for that. Don't be caught with your pants down. Grass Memory. Finally got a grass type because Arceus is a grass type. It's about damn time. Alright, so you can... Ooh, Arceus with, like, the Venusaur? Might see play. Never know. Who knows? Never know. Indigo and Emmett. These are from Gen 5. The people in charge of, like, the battle subway thing. Pretty cool card. This guy actually is really cool. Look at the top card of your deck, then choose one of these effects. Discard your hand and draw 5 cards. So you get to see the top card. If it's really good, discard your hand and draw 5. And if you look at the top card of your deck and you're like, ooh, I don't want that card, discard your hand and draw 5 cards from the bottom of your deck. People are going to use this card. These guys are fan favorites, and I bet the full art for this card looks absolutely amazing. These 2 people are always like hilarious in-game, and this card will probably see play because it's a bit of a meme card. And I think there's also combos with like that Orin Guru that says like, put 3 cards from your discard pile at the bottom of your deck, and then you can just draw them with this. So it might see play. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. Jasmine. This card has the potential to be absolutely busted. Not very often do I think that cards like this card has potential to just do something stupid. So search it up for a steel Pokemon. Reveal it and put it in your hand. That's not bad. So it's like a supporter Ultra Ball, but you don't have to discard. That by itself is okay. Sure, it's not amazing, but it's okay. But if you go second, and it's your very first turn, so you can Lele for this card, you could search your deck for 5 steel Pokemon. 5 of them. 5! And put them in your hand. That's ridiculous! How is that, like... if it said 3, that's 3 times the effectiveness of an already decent card. This is 5 times effective. I like this card. This card's gonna be so good in steel decks. Yeah, amazing. It's like the Kiyoe of steel decks. If you go second, you just win the game, but Kiyoe likes going first, but this likes to win second. You can choose to go second! Your opponent can be like, oh, I'm playing in steel, I choose to go first. Of course, they should always want to go, or sorry, I choose you to go first, so you can't do it, but, oh man. Everyone always chooses first, so like, you can guarantee that you get this off. You can choose to go second, and most people are going to make you go second, so if they don't know what you're playing, good card. I plan to see a lot of play. It probably has a really cool full art, too. Judge Whistle. I like this card. You just draw a card. It's cycling. Just play this card, draw a card. So it's great for decks that need to, like, thin. Like, there was an unknown that used to be, like, if you played it on your bench, you can discard it and draw a card. That card saw a ton of play. This card's going to see a ton of play. Also, you can choose a Judge card from your discard pile, put it in your hand. So having 2 effects, being an item card that can have a supporter, being an item card that technically has draw, being able to cycle, deck thin, great card, going to see a ton of play in a lot of decks. You're going to be surprised. Like, if you have, like, 56 cards and you don't know what to run, just throw one of these in here. Like, you can really just draw a card with it. It thins your deck, and it lets you cycle. Pretty good card. Also, this card has like potential to be used with like cards like put cards on the top of your deck and you draw the card immediately. Because a lot of cards, like, you may just think, why don't I just draw in the card instead? Why don't I just run the card I want to draw instead? Well, again, a lot of cards like put cards on the top of your deck, and your Judge Whistle just draw. All you gotta do is draw the Judge Whistle, and then you can activate it in conjunction with abilities. So it's pretty good. It's still pretty good card. So let's see. We got Lavender Town. All right, what do you do? What do you do, Lavender Town? Once during each player's turn before their attack, that player may have their opponent reveal their hand. Huh. Just let me see your hand. And you can look at mine, I can look at yours. You show me yours, I show you mine. Yeah, pretty cool card. I think it might see play. I think it's definitely a fun card. Being able to look at your opponent's hand doesn't really get you that much in this game, so it's not amazing. Metal Goggles. Alright, this is probably stupid. This Pokemon stat takes 30 damage for Pokemon attacks, and your opponent's attacks and abilities. Oh, so you just can't deal. So you can't even Decidueye. You can't like dot things up anymore for weak amounts of damage. Good card. Very good card. Similar to like Frying Pan, right? Yeah, I like it. That card's going to see a ton of play in Steel decks. Absolutely amazing. All right, Morgan, we're going to see the rest of these things. This is the stupid one. This is the combo one. So this card can't be played unless you discard Dana, Evelyn, and Nita. Nita's we're going to look at in a little bit. So you guys can discard all 3 of those and play this as your supporter. We'll get the top 12 cards of your deck, attach as many energy cards as you find there to your Pokemon any way you like, and then shuffle the remaining cards into your deck. So you can technically, if you hit the nuts, attach 12 energy to whatever you want in any way you like. You're probably going to hit like 6+ if you build your deck correctly around this for this meme deck, but these type of cards are going to be really popular. And there's going to be meme decks all over Pokemon Online. You might even see these at like your locals. There's going to be full arts for all these cards, so you could swag out this deck. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them just for people messing around. We're going to look at the Nita, because this is the other one of the cards you have to discard. You can only play this card if your opponent's a basic. So this one's basic, the one were stage 1s and stage 2s, so they're not unusable, but you want to mostly just keep them in your hand so you can discard with Morgan. And put an energy card from your opponent's active Pokemon on the top of their deck. So, ooh, it's like Ryza from Yu-Gi-Oh! Top decks it and waste their draw. So you're effectively like skipping their draw and removing their energy. Pretty good. Just waste their time. 2019. So we're going to get Nanu. This is one of my favorite supporters in the deck. That was great with that Absol. I think this card's amazing. Has a really cool full art as well. Choose a basic dark Pokemon in your discard pile and switch it with one of your Pokemon in play. Any attached cards, damage counter, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects remain on the new Pokemon. This makes it so, like, let's say you didn't hit your curve, or you go like Beacon, Vulpix, search your deck for like 2 Absols, play the 2 Absols, discard an Absol for like an Ultra Ball or something, and then you Nanu and make an Absol your active, and just immediately out of nowhere you have your full setup, and this card lets you do it. So I think any Absol deck is going to be running this card because it lets you really hit your curve. I really like that this card exists, and the more dark types we see, the better this gets. And also note, this says choose a basic dark Pokemon in your discard pile. There's going to probably be some good GX. Like, you can also go for like Guzzlord with this. Like, there's definitely ways to make this work, and you can have like a decent starter Pokemon that helps you hit your curve. And when you finally want to like hit and win the game, you just go for the Nanu. And it's very similar to Ninja Boy, which again is one of my favorite cards from back in the day. I really wish there was a full art Ninja Boy. I would have dropped some money on that. One card that people are super excited that's coming back is Pokemon Communicator. I think it's actually going to come in some of the starter decks too, if I'm not mistaken, but reveal a Pokemon in your hand and put it on the top of your deck. If you do, search your deck for Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So what you pretty much do is like, man, I have this useless-ass Pokemon on my hand. I really wish I had some other Pokemon. Maybe like a Lele. Maybe I can, get my Lele, get my supporter, and like hit my curve. This lets you go for that as a trainer. So you can run 4 of these. It's like it's more unique Ultra Ball because it doesn't have to discard stuff, so you get to keep the stuff, and you get to like only have to get rid of 1 card. So like, let's say you're looking for like basics, you're looking for an evolution Pokemon. This card's gonna let you hit your curve. This is an amazing card for the game. It used to be legal back in the day, like back when I actually originally started playing Pokemon. This card was legal, and I probably still have them now that I'm thinking about it. Similar to like Bebe's Communication. I think that's what it used to be. But yeah, I used to run this card. Very good card for hitting curve. Very good card for consistency. Expect to see this card and Ultra Ball in a lot of decks, and definitely keep these if you get them because they're going to be pretty expensive. Return label. Put a card from your opponent's discard pile on the bottom of their deck. You may play as many item cards as you like. Yeah, I don't know how this works. I don't know why you would want to put stuff from your opponent's discard pile on the bottom of their deck. Maybe there's a card they have like Propagation Execute that's in the discard pile that they return back to their hand every single turn, or maybe they have like that new Giratina that says when it's in your discard pile you can put it on your bench and then put 2 damage on something, and if they're using a deck they can do that every single turn. This can get rid of it, so pretty good, and it puts it on the bottom of their deck, so it's like they're not even close to drawing it. So if I could put it on the top of their deck, that'd be worse, because then they did still have it. Putting it on the bottom, pretty good. I like the cards like this exist, because you never know how out of control some decks are going to get. This card just existing can stop those decks from going nuts in the future. And who knows, like, you know, it just is cool. We don't know what cards come out in future sets, so being able to like stop a power creep before it even starts is sometimes a pretty good thing. We got Sabrina's suggestion. This is a pretty weird supporter, right? This is a pretty weird supporter. Your opponent reveals their hand, and you may choose a supporter card you find there and use the effect of this card. So, like, you're going to look at their hand, no matter how many cards in their hand, and you're going to use one of their supporters. And so, the reason why I don't think this card's amazing is because, like, you can just play a supporter. What are you going to copy? A Cynthia? A card you can run? What are you going to copy? Like an Elm's Lecture? A card that you can run? You can just run that card. I think this card's funny. It'd be really funny to copy like a key away and then use their key away. But again, if you can actually use a key away, you can just use key away. It'd be really cool in situations where you're like, man, I could Cynthia for my DCE, or like I already have board, like I can go Guzma for a win. Use Sabrina, take their Guzma and win the game. Also, the only good thing about this card is it lets you look at their hand, but I don't think this card's going to see a lot of play. It's not like amazing at all, but it's a meme card for sure, and Sabrina is a fan favorite, so it might see play. Here is the Fossil card. It has 60 HP. I wonder if you can get it with Elm. I don't think so, even though it's a trainer, you can't get it. Anytime during your turn of attack, you may discard this card from play. It can't retreat, and they don't get a prize. You just discard it, so yeah, decent. Yeah. Who knows? It doesn't. Also, note that this card doesn't let you just start the game. Like if you get 2 Mysterious Fossils, you can't start the game as it is a basic. So just note that it can't do anything, and it just evolves. Viridian Forest, I actually like this card. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a card from their hand. If they do, that player searches their deck for a basic energy card, reveals it, and puts it in their hand. Then that player shuffles their deck. So I don't think this card's like amazing, but this card is good in every deck. It's not just like a grass specific card, because like that's what you would think of when you think of Viridian Forest. But this card is very similar to Professor's Letter, but it has a cost, and Professor's Letter was a +1. You played Professor's Letter, which is 1 card, and then you got 2 for it. So you turned 1 card into 2, and that's what Professor's Letter did. This card itself costs a card, and then it costs 1 card for a card. It can work in decks that like need to have like a graveyard effect going, but you know, this card could see play, and it could really help decks that have like 2 to 3 different types of energy. So like in the video I showed the other day, it was a Lycanroc Zoroark Espeon. It uses like 2 different types of energy and like very low amount of fighting. This card works in decks that have very low amounts of very specific energy. I'm gonna start using this card in a lot of decks. I really think being able to tutor and search energy from your deck, very specific energy, is really good. Note that you can only really search for basic energy, right? So you can't get double colorless with this card, but I think it's a cool card. I plan on using it. I'll probably pick up a reverse set because I like it. Water Memory. It's finally time. Arceus is going to be that young water type, my boy. We got another Prism Star, and this is going to be working for fairies. So the attacks of non-fairy Pokemon, both yours and your opponents, cost 1 more. Wow. That can mess people up. There's a lot of decks that have very specific amounts of energy. Like, if I play this card and you're playing Zoroark, and your deck, like let's talk about expanded or let's talk about whatever, you might only have 4 DCEs in your whole deck, and that's your deck. And now you need 2 DCEs just to be able to do stuff? Like, I could see people just running this card as an anti-meta deck for like decks like Malamar that just can have an ungodly amount of energy that could care less how much energy their cards attack for, but just use this to mess with people and use this as like an anti-meta card. I just coined that. We're doing that. That sounds so good. It's so good. And you don't even need fairy Pokemon. And also, a lot of people like to run one stadium just to get rid of other stadiums sometimes. And remember, you can't like Field Blow or other Prism Star stadiums. So this could just be that stadium you just have on your deck. And like, oh, you played your 1 Prism Star? Bam! Here we go. Not only do you not have your Prism Star anymore, you also like can't attack. Like, really good card. I really like this card, and I plan on using it as an anti-meta card in the future. So we're now finally into the point where we're looking at like the full arts. We have like the full art for the Celebi and the Venusaur. I don't think we ever actually looked at Wailord Magikarp. So here's the full art of it. It looks pretty cool. Here's the regular art of it. I like this one a lot more. So this Pokemon's going to be a lot of play because Wailord's a popular card, always has been. Magikarp and Gyarados cards are popular. This card is 300 HP. 300. Big 300. So the 300 club here. Tag team, so if you knocked out, you get 3 prizes. It has an attack that costs 5 water energy, deals 180 damage. That's a crap ton of damage. That's so much damage. But where this Pokemon really shines is its GX attack. So it costs a water energy, right? Deals 10 damage plus. This Pokemon has at least 7 energy, which we've definitely seen through all the mechanics in this game. Getting water energy on your bench Pokemon is not that hard. This Pokemon has at least 7 extra, so you need 8. in addition to this attack's cost. So you need 8 total. This deck does 100 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. You literally just clear their bench. You do 180 to their active. Even if it's like a tag team or GX, you're going to be able to then go for a full clear. Like, this is going to KO any like basic Pokemon that's trying to set up, like going for an evolution like Zora. You're going to wipe their bench with it, get like 4, 5, 6 prizes, stops them from setting up, and can KO actives. No, it only hits the bench Pokemon. Only hits the bench. But still, this Pokemon is going to be absolutely popular. This Pokemon's going to be a meta call for sure. Note that it's weak against Grass, not weak against Zapdos, but I suppose it doesn't have any weakness attack on its attack anyways. But yeah, really good card. I think this is a ton of play. Everyone loves this card. Other than that, we got a bunch of full arts here. Let's just look at full arts. We got Ampharos full art. I like the way that looks. I really want an Ampharos, guys. Let me know some spicy Ampharos sets if you guys can think of them. Gengar, that looks so much better than the other one. This card like almost looks playable in this form. Only full art mode. That one even looks better too. The other one looks so dorky. Hoopa. I like the other Hoopa art better. Incineroar looks pretty cool. Cobalion looks meh. I like the other art better. That looks cool. That looks so cool. That looks the best. That's the best one. Oh man, that is so much swag. I want to play that deck so much. That one looks cool too. I like this art better. And also, I think all the other tag team arts are drawn by like people that work for Pokemon that don't do art very often. That's why the art looks a little bit off in the set on some of these tag teams. I heard that as a rumor somewhere. Maybe someone can confirm in the comments if it's true or not. Brock's full art. I love this card. I run this card in my Typhlosion deck. I love that full art Brock's. I'm gonna be picking up a couple of those because I like that card. There's some of the girl cards. You can see that's the one that hits stage 2s, I think. Erica's full art. That card looks amazing. That card's going to be expensive. Probably like 20 right when the set comes out. Because this card's going to be usable. And the girl cards are always popular. Erica's a popular card. This card looks cool by itself. So definitely expect this card to be kind of expensive if you can pull it. There's the Morgan. That's the one that hits stage 1s. Draw 4. There we go. That card looks cool as well. The card that says, look at the top card of your deck, then choose to either discard your hand, draw 5, or look at the bottom. Sorry. You discard your hand, draw 5, or discard your hand, draw 5 from the bottom. So pretty cool card. Again, it looks cool as well. Jasmine, that's another full art that's going to be really, really good for steals. Staple in steel decks. It's like the key away of steel decks. You're expected to be pretty expensive because like the female cards are always pretty expensive. There's the other girl. I think that's the card that makes the combo go for 12. I think her name was Morgan. So she's going to be... These are all these cards are going to be like a couple bucks. I think this one might be a little bit more than the other ones. Or one of them is going to probably be like 5 or 6. But other than that, after prices... dip, they're probably all going to be around $5, I would assume. Nanu, I'm going to pick up this card. I love the way this card works. I love this guy's character in the games, and it works great with that Absol deck that I was talking about. There we go. This is the girl that says Basics. Take an energy card attached to one of your Pokemon and put it on the top card of their deck. This card looks pretty cool too. This card might actually see the most play. You know, because skipping an opponent's draw phase, it doesn't really skip it, but it makes them draw a card they already drew. It's technically a skip. Sabrina looks amazing. The only reason this card could ever be expensive is because it's a girl and Sabrina's popular, and it's because the art actually looks pretty cool. I expect it to be like hover around $10 for a little while and then go down. Ghost rares are the what is it? What do you call those in this game? I call them ghost rares. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh term. I don't remember what they're called. That card looks cool. That looks busted. That Pikachu looks sick. Oh, that Pikachu looks so cool. I want one of these. I want that card. I don't even want to run Pikachu, but I like the way that Pikachu looks. That Pikachu's like, yeah. You got Ampharos on there. I like the actual original art of Ampharos, but that card looks cool. That card looks cool in this mode. Holy moly. Incineroar looks meh. Cobalion looks meh. That looks cool still. That looks... Actually, I like the way that looks. What is this? Water fighting. Is this Brooklet Hill? Is this full art Brooklet Hill? Is that a card in this set? I think that's Brooklet Hill. I could just scroll down here and find it. Brooklet Hill! Yeah! That's good. I like that. I can dig like a full art Brooklet Hill. I can absolutely dig that. It's about time. Brooklet Hill's amazing in Buzzwole. You can get water Pokemon with it. I like it. The card looks really cool too. We see that drill card, discard dark, and it discards like a stadium or special energy. Like it. Looks cool. That's the card that works with the Electrotizers, put them back in the deck. Whistle, I like this card. I would pick these up for 8 to 10 a piece, in my opinion. I just want to play set of these cards. Super swag. I love using full art cards. That's the steel card. That looks really, really cool too as well. Pokemon Communicator. This card's going to be expensive. I would say 30 to 40 at least. If I'm just guessing. I haven't looked up prices. Do not take my prices seriously at all. Never take my prices seriously. I'm saying, a lot of the times, like, I'm saying what I would pay for these things. So never take my prices seriously. And that was it. So that is the set, guys. That is the set. wow, that video took literally forever. But I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and please, please, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, let me know what cards you actually were really surprised by, let me know what cards you want to build around, and let me know if you have any questions about the cards coming out for this set and any decks you want to see me work on first, because I'm getting all my codes, you know, probably within the next couple days. I'm going to be giving out the 10 codes of the first 10 people that leave comments. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.